Here we go. No turning back now.
The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Okay. Now it says we've got 2 live on YouTube. That's good. It's updated. Yeah. So they have changed that a wee bit. And I think we're back at the desktop. Although I have to check your audio level. I forgot to check that. So I'll just do it in a minute. So we're doing this today. It goes out to all the... So it's gone out to YouTube. I'm not sure why Pill's not showing up. It's always a problem. I might have to update the software sometime. Pill, I'm not sure if it's getting it. Let me just check.
Sure.
It's not getting it at the moment, which is kind of weird. No. Something's happened with Pilled. What? I don't know. I'll just check. It's logged in. I'll just stop it and restart it, maybe. Okay, I'll just try that again.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, it's going now. It's showing up as a tick there. That's Pilled, that's YouTube, that's Rumble, and that's Twitch. Yeah, I'll just post up my website link, and we'll go to with your stories and whatnot.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think Field hasn't shown up again. Oh no, it has. That's Rumble. Rumble's there. No, it's gone. I'll just pin those, and yeah, we're ready to go. Finally, I've got to do those on another screen though. I don't think it's got the pin command. Gives some time for people to show up anyway.
Sure.
And they normally get an email, and it takes some 15 minutes to realise we've gone live.
So, I bet so.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're getting all Michael King's comments. I've better check. You still there, Mike? Let's just zoom in. Let's have a quick look. Give it time. They always come in later. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Hey, Colleen.
Hi, Michael.
He's in Scotland. He's a Scottish fellow.
Oh, Scotland. I love a good brogue.
Everybody else is pretty shy on the side comments, but we put it there in case we get a few people that want to join in. Yeah, just bring up your webpage and we can go.
Okay.
So we could probably show you a webpage and post them in the site. I think I've posted it in the description anyway. This is from Hang One, which promotes a lot of paranormal and UFO books as well as movies, I think, don't they?
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. The guys who head up the Hangar One Publishing are the same ones who did Monster Quest, if you remember that.
Yeah, that's when they go do Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and whatnot. So,
giant squid.
So you want to maybe talk about yourself here instead of read out this blurb about you, the bio. You can just talk it, can't you? Do you want to explain, say who you are and all that in the blurb?
Sure.
Or do you want me to read out this? It's up to you.
You know, it's fine with me. I'm perfectly capable, and thank you for that. My name is Colleen Kaufman. I have a lifelong passion and experience with all things paranormal. I have spent the last 25 plus years in film and theater as a special effect makeup artist, wardrobe and makeup hair artist. I no longer do that, or a lot of that anyways, but I have recently, in the last couple of years, I've done some writing and some drawing and some painting and things, and that's where we're at right now.
So, you did obviously gorilla type suits, like Bigfoot type suits for movies, did you?
Never did a Bigfoot suit, but I have done a lot of werewolves. I have done a lot of zombies. I've done a lot of dead folks.
Right.
I have done a lot of just all kinds of practical effects and special effect makeup.
Do you think what's your feeling on that Bigfoot gimbal? What's that? Is it gimbal? The famous Bigfoot one in California, the one where they're claiming it's a suit, a suit that's been really done well with things underneath it that simulates muscles. What's your feeling on that movie? Do you think it's real or costume?
Knowing what I know about special effect makeup and where it's come just in the last 25 or 30 years that I have been heavily involved in it, I feel like that was not a suit.
Do you? Because some guy, some guy said that he made it for him. What's happened there? Yeah.
You know, everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, right?
Yeah. I've looked at it, and to me, I think it is a suit. Because
do you really?
Yeah, the strip. It's like they've got a rectangle cut out in the hood where it's looking through. It's not actually doesn't actually look like it's on the face. It kind of looks like a little slit where they could see where they're walking. I don't know if he was meant to turn around and expose too much of that in the filming of it. Maybe he did it wrong when he was acting. But he's come out and claimed that he was in that suit, and they've done some measurements from the movie and worked out that the Bigfoot was actually 6.1, which is pretty small for a Bigfoot. Most of them often talk about 7 foot to 8 foot, even up to 11 foot. And it turns out his height is actually 6.1, which would be roughly correct, give or take a few inches, I would say. in estimations, with the crown of the ape, if it was a hood sipped on. And yeah, they said it was the most sophisticated suit of the time, that they sewed in little, well, the guy that claimed to made it sewed in little things under the suit to simulate muscles.
Yeah,
which is
I don't
possible.
know that I agree with that, but I would need to go back and look at it. To be honest and to be fair, I would have to go back and review the footage and some of the images you're talking about to give it another look with those fresh eyes.
Yeah, I have actually got a few episodes there you can watch and have a look and see what I found out anyway. But yeah, what's Michael think? He's a believer and a skeptic, like I am. Skeptic, because a lot of it's out there is explainable, but there's that 1% that's not. So we got Kate in Orlando joining us. Huh, Kate? Hi,
Kate.
Michael is there, and Woo Rider has joined us. So we've got 3 people on YouTube.
Nice.
Thanks for saying hi in the side chat. Got any questions and stuff throughout the show? Synchronicity. My dad's family is from Dumfries, Scotland area. Okay, he's talking to Mr. King. Yeah, so if there's anything here that we missed, lifelong passion for art, studying, spent the last 25 years in film and theatre. That's a long time.
It is.
Also has affinity for storytelling.
Absolutely.
Taps what's that? The reality of mediums with her incredible talents. So you're a psychic medium? Is that what they're saying there?
That's not what it's talking about in this particular blurb, but yes, I have absolutely been a medium my entire life.
Right. Okay, we'll get into more on that. So that she can share her greatest adventures, and devoted mother, daughter, sister, aunt, grandmother, and what's that one? Nurturer, and her great extended family. People may not be aware, but your dad just passed away a couple of weeks ago, so. And today, I just heard that my uncle has died overnight. My mum's brother. And she's a wee bit weepy at the moment, so. But I said I had to leave her, because I said I got a show to set up. So, the next tab. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say, I'm really sorry about your uncle. You know, I relate to that. I just lost my dad a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's 25. This year has been turning out a strange people dying, you know, that you don't expect to die. But anyway.
Yes.
There's your website for advertising your costume business.
Yes. Yep, you can see all of my great costuming and makeup, special effects, body painting. I do a lot of body painting and face painting and makeup in there. Okay,
so it's these ones here, I guess, artwork.
Oh, fine art. Yep, there's all kinds of fine art in there. Painting in the rake was a fun one.
How come it didn't work? Too early. Mum's just brought me some hot food. I didn't have time to eat.
Kind.
Yeah. I'll try and eat it in between you telling your storytelling, I guess, and mute the mic and so. All right, it comes up here. I was expecting it to change the head, but it didn't. So this is some of your drawings, is it?
These are some of my paintings. Not only do I sketch and do painting, but I'm an airbrush artist. So a great many of these items are airbrushed.
Right. Okay.
These are all pencil drawings of a lot of creatures and entities that I've experienced over the years.
Okay, you can talk about all that if you want. Oh, we got a donation.
Michael King donated £10 through Super Chat. Boom.
Thanks, Mike. I was just telling Colleen that you're the only one that donates to me. I've just found a wee bit hard, the font on this thing with my eyes, purple and blue. And I'll just have to zoom in a bit. What's going on with this mouse? I might have to...
it's testy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not
so if you hover over the...
Hang on, I'll just have to reset the magnifier just to see if that'll fix it. I need a faster computer. I'll do so much on here.
They make them faster every day, don't they?
Yeah, this has got only 6 cores, I think it is, or 8 cores. The latest ones for laptop go up to 24 cores, I think.
Great.
So yeah, that makes a hell of a difference, especially when you're doing complex stuff on one computer like I am at here at the moment. Yeah, let's just bring up the page again. Let's see if it works a wee bit better now.
You, Michael.
Oh yeah, it's working better now. Okay, so we got body painting. What's the other one? It disappeared on me.
There you go. It's a hover menu.
Yeah, I would have done probably white writing on the pull downs because it would stand up better.
So hover over the top one, which is fine art.
Yeah, we looked at that one before.
And to your right. And yep, hover over painting the rake, which is the 3rd one down. There you go. Click on that guy.
I think I did.
And then scroll down.
Yeah, we have to scroll down.
There you go. Okay, so are you familiar with the rake at all?
Yeah, I've heard it on that show. What is it? The Dead Files? What's her name? Amy used to talk about it. Is that the one that comes and takes your soul or something? Is that the one?
No, actually, this is a guy he's a cryptid, and he has made himself very well known over especially the last probably 10 years. Has been seen and heard of in the world elsewise as maybe a ghoul. He sounds like a pig in distress. He chases people away. He is kind of a weird pinky white color. People find him often digging in the ground. Right. He's an odd guy. He's kind of a scary guy. Although I don't believe he's ever been caught being mean to people other than just chasing them away.
Right. Yeah.
And he stinks.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah,
so
Amy
I did a
used
study
to talk
on
about
a few years ago.
Yeah, Amy used to talk about, oh, this one really smells. Yeah, were you ever watching the Dead Files? I found it quite an interesting series, especially with her teamed up with a detective, and he used to go and research stuff, which she wouldn't know about because he really got into digging down deep, and less people and a lot of fakes out there making money off it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there was a series
Michael,
called...
You're hilarious.
Yeah, there was a series on New Zealand called Sense and Murder, which was quite interesting. And there was a couple particular people on there that were quite interesting, a guy and an Australian woman. And I don't know how they pulled out the names of people out in thin air if they weren't cheating, you know, and birth dates and... how they died and all that sort of stuff. So it's quite interesting if it's not cheating, you know. So everybody here that probably watches me are probably a skeptic of psychics and mediums themselves.
Things are produced.
Yeah.
And most of those shows out there nowadays are produced.
Right. Yeah.
However, there are some
Scripted.
real talented people out there who can genuinely pull names and birth dates and things like that completely out of the air.
Yeah. Have you seen Sense of
Michael, what you
Murder?
missed is you're hilarious.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Sense of Murder on? Oh, right, you lost connection. That's all right, as long as you're back. Yeah, we're talking about creatures that she has seen, a bit like Amy from Dead Files, where she talks about all these strange creatures that she sees from the portal or whatever. And she does a lot of Indian land stuff where she sees skinwalkers and even aliens. So yeah, I suppose you should really start at the beginning. How you got into this psychic ability? I guess we can look at your book here. I guess.
Sure. So let me tell you a little bit.
You drive it how you want, and I'll bring up the websites and links for you. I actually have before I let you go. Talking.
Okay.
So we got the rabbit hole. We got some blurb about your book here, which I thought was quite one of the better ones.
Thank you.
Which is a page long there, so we could read that out. Basically, that sort of dives into your background, but you're probably going to talk about it anyway. And then we got some really locations as well. We've got some locations that you went to that are key points in your life. Yes. Ohio, Stoll.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And we got also a cemetery, I think it is. Where's that one disappeared to? Cemetery up in.
Right, that's Nelson Ledges up in Ohio.
Yeah, also Ohio. So we got. Was that one?
Stoll, Kansas.
Oh no, that wasn't. That was slightly further down, wasn't it? Oh no, slightly further left. You were here
there you
with
go.
this cemetery, and you got this location here. So you can talk about those, and we can bring up the location so people know where you're talking about. The barn, though, the barn I didn't have a location for.
The barn is Grandview, Missouri.
So that would be up here next to the
Missouri
lake, near the lake.
Down to your left.
There.
Just about smack dab right next to that red, right next to the red pin drop.
There.
So right in through there. It is just across that state line from Stoll.
Right.
I think that Missouri is the only state there that's not labeled. Oh no, wait, Kansas is not
right.
either.
I thought that was Missouri, but that's Michigan. I'm still getting used to the American states and whereabouts they all are.
So am I.
That one's not labeled, isn't it?
Yep, that's
for
Kansas.
some reason.
And
yeah,
that would be where the cemetery is, and then just across the state line to the right is going to be Missouri, which is where the barn is.
There.
And then up by the Great Lakes, where it says OH, that is going to be where Nelson Ledges is.
Yeah, why is it not got Missouri on there? Oh, there we go. We're assuming
there it is.
Brings it up. There we go. That makes more sense.
Yep.
So you want to start with how you sort of grew up and talk about the barn, and then talk about those other locations, perhaps. Okay.
So let's talk about the book for just a minute, and I'll tell you how it's really a cool story on how I decided to do this book, and I think that it ties into everything we want to get into. Back in the early 2000s, I was on the road a lot, and my mom and dad got me a sketch diary, which turned into my constant companion while I was on the road. I drew and sketched and pen and inked all kinds of really cool entities and energies that I encountered on my travels. And I traveled a lot, which is why all of this is all over the place. About 2012, I ended up moving out of my ex-husband's house. I got a divorce. I moved several times. My storage unit was burglarized. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened in just a couple of years. And I lost my sketch diary. It just disappeared. So one of the stars of my sketch diary were fairies. I spent a lot of time drawing and interacting with fairy energies. And so one night in 2020, I was house sitting for a friend of mine and her dogs. I was hanging out with the dogs in the backyard, and I was watching the lightning bugs, which are also known as fireflies. I was watching them in the backyard, and I was thinking about my sketch diary and how much I missed it and how cool the fairies were and how I really missed my sketch diary. And the very next day, I got a message from a young man who said, "I have your sketch diary. Would you like it back?" And I was blown away. This was 6 years after it went missing. So I went and picked up my sketch diary, and I finished it, wrote a bunch of text to go with it, and here it is. It's published. That's where it came from. So it was kind of a meant-to-be situation. And as far as
this
Hangar One,
story only covered the paranormal or everyday life?
It was just paranormal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just the fairies and the energies and entities that I'd met.
And you drew pictures of what you saw in it. That's what you're saying? Okay.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. It's all about all of the entities that I saw and experienced all over the United States while I was traveling.
Right.
So I finished it up, and I wrote some text to go with it, and Hangar One just happened to fall into my lap, and I hit them up and gave them a manuscript, and they published it. So that's how we're here right now.
Good.
But it was just such a cool story that I couldn't resist sharing it with you guys.
Yeah. I used to like the idea of what's it called? Pixies, leprechauns, and fairies.
Yeah.
From the old Irish and Scottish mythologies.
From all over the world.
Yeah, but they talk about it being folklore. But when you start looking at various other cases where people are seeing little men at the end of the bed and walking past in
I've had my experience with those.
Yes, in an old English pub, there's a story about this man. All these little gnomes come walking through. Gnomes that you get in the garden come walking through with the funny hats. And a doorway opened up on the other side of the wall, and they all walked past him. And the last one turned around, stared at him, blinked at him or something, winked at him, and then turned around, carried on, and disappeared through the wall with the other ones. So this guy wasn't known to make any stories up, and he wasn't drunk, and he was just like a band player at the pub. So yeah, strange stuff does get seen, I guess. And I put that down to my own experience with what I've had happen to me, and what was sort of passed as information to me through dreams after the events. That we live in a multi-universe, and these portals open up where entities from other parallel Earths pretty much can enter into our realm when they shouldn't be here, and then pass out again, which is related to also to time slips and time travelers, as they speak, because each planet could be at different ages in the multiverse, some in the dinosaur period, some in the future, whatever. But that's what I got in the dream, so I had to document it and write it down, and actually brought it towards all the people that used to follow me on this YouTube channel, saying this is the crazy stuff that's happened, and this is the information I've been fed. And the alien greys come here to try and remove the attachments to some people. So when they abduct people, they were trying to make them healthy again because they had some negative entity attached to them. Or to the property, and tried to remove them from that property. But I believe Bigfoot also are like travelers from a multiverse section, and they can open up the portal, come in, do hunting because they can't get the same food on their own planet for some reason, and then they go again. You often hear about orbs above Bigfoot sightings where they disappear suddenly. The orbs are something to do with maybe generating the portal door that they walk through. So yeah, so I'm not so skeptical anymore when people say they saw fairies or demons or angels, because I believe they're real, but they're from a multiverse and not a dimension, but from a portal connection to another real world, 3D world. So we also don't know
about 3D.
Sorry?
Maybe. I said, I don't know about 3D. Maybe. I think that they can interact with us here, and maybe they are, some of them, 3D. I don't know. I think that it's possible that they are multi-dimensionals. I don't know. It depends on the entity.
Being a science person, I never liked this dimension idea because when you think about it, we live in a 3D world, but we can't see 4D and 5D and we can see 2D and 1D, but we can't see above. How would they sort of fit in a 3D world? It doesn't sort of make sense, you know. So they've got to be like a physical creature that comes into our realm when they shouldn't be here, and they should be back in their own universe, because it causes problems. But I think this is the key. You're talking about keyway, yeah. Talking about keyways, energy paths.
Yes. So a lot of these entities are, I can only interact with them in my mind's eye, or I can feel their energy or see, like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of snow on the TV, you know, like static.
Right.
But some of them I have seen, like, for instance, after my uncle died, I went to go stay with my grandmother. He was her caretaker. And so I kind of had to step up and be her caretaker after he passed away. And I was sleeping in his bedroom. Well, I had been cleaning out his closet at the foot of his bed, and I had like grocery bags, plastic grocery bags full of socks and underwear that I had been sorting. I just stashed them at the foot of the bed, between the bed and the closet. And when I went to bed that night, turned out the light, climbed into okay, is there a mouse or a rat? Whatever the case may be. And I kind of looked over the edge of the bed. I was wide awake. I had just laid down into bed, and I saw this little guy. He was probably about 2 feet tall, and he looked like a goblin or a gremlin. He looked like Dobby, an awful lot like Dobby from Harry Potter. And he came out from the foot of the bed with some socks in his hands. He never even looked at me. I saw him very, very clearly, and he was 100% 3D. And he looked down both sides of the hallway and slid into my grandmother's room. He gave me such a bad feeling, and it's hard to scare me. It's not so hard to startle me, but it is hard to scare me.
Right.
That guy made me nervous enough. I stayed in bed.
You did lock up there for about 10 seconds, by the way. For some reason, we lost connection with you. But yeah.
Uh-oh. Am I back?
But it's all... No, just when you're talking about the mouse or whatever it was, and just before then. But it doesn't matter. I think we got most of the story. So is this happening all in one location, or does it just follow you around no matter where you go?
Yeah, no, I experience stuff like this everywhere I go.
Right. Do you think it's attached to you then, in that case?
I don't think I have any attachments. I think that I have a something that attracts those types of things, and maybe I even have a more open third eye, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I think that I can see and hear them better than some people can, and I think that they're aware of that. When they see me, they're like, "Ah, you can see me."
I suppose attachment's the wrong word. I should have said hitchhiker. Let's follow you around, but
so I don't really have anybody that follows me around. I have had encounters with the same entities and energies. Like, for instance, I used to work at commercial haunted houses in Kansas City, and those were incredibly haunted places. And I encountered the same entities multiple times in the same spaces there.
Right. Just check up on the side comments. There've been a few popping up.
Well, they're having quite a conversation over there. I like you too, Michael.
Yeah, I said he's the king of Scotland. He owns Scotland. Nobody else knows it. I'm trying to be funny.
With that.
Yeah, he's a Braveheart. Clearly not working. Grabs coat, and heads out the door.
A shame.
Like Colleen, breaking the habit. Well, it's something different than what we normally do here. But yeah, it's always good to have a special guest on. Yeah, I like Colleen as well. We've been talking off and on for a couple of months now, especially in emails. I love laughing. It makes me feel alive. Yeah, I make Michael laugh a bit occasionally.
These earrings came from my mother. Thank you very much. John Candy.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. That guy. I like it. Is it automobiles, airplanes, and trains? That's a hilarious one.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Yep.
Yeah, that one's a great one. And he gets caught up in this car seat, and he can't get the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it went, but that just cracked me up. That did it. Anyway,
it was a sad day when we lost him.
Yeah, just carry on from where you left off anyway. Just carry on from where you left off, because we're heading towards the barn story, I guess, through this.
Let's talk about the barn. A lot of the fairies and entities that I drew in the sketch diary actually came from the barn. And the barn was a place in Grandview, Missouri, or outside of Grandview, Missouri. It was about 54 acres. The pasture, there was a pond, there was woodland. They had livestock there off and on. So my ex-husband and I used to take care of that property. And we were up there one night and found that he was kind of a hoarder with cars and automotive things. So he had 40 some odd cars up there for parts cars. And we went up there and found that somebody had been vandalizing those cars. So we spent a lot of time, day and night, find somebody who was vandalizing these cars continuously. One night we were out walking the perimeter of the property, and we stopped for a break by the back fence. And there was this bush growing out of the fence line that had what I can only describe as like cigar-shaped or size orange glowing orbs inside of this bush. And the more we looked at them to try and figure out what they were, the more that we found. So we couldn't figure out what they were. There were no berries. There were no fungi. There was nothing to explain what we were looking at. So we came back the next day, and again, we found nothing. Well, it wasn't but just a couple of nights later that we started seeing these fast-moving lights all over the barn.
Oh, she dropped out. Looks like she's got a Wi-Fi connection, maybe. I don't know. Ah.
Hey, there we are. You got me back?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi connection dropped by the looks of it.
That sucks.
I'm always on
See where
cable
to
here.
go.
We're straight to the back of the router, so we never have any microwaves or anything that knocks us out. We
Sure
got
why
to
it's
orange lights over the barn, and then you dropped out.
So we found these orange lights in this bush and we couldn't figure out what they were. We came back next day in the daylight and we still couldn't figure out what they were. It was only a couple of days after that we started seeing these very fast moving white and blue and purple lights, little orbs that were probably that big around to about maybe that big around, just flying all through this field at night. Some of them made noises and some of them did not. And from that point forward, I started drawing fairies. True story. We used to take people up there who didn't believe in ghosts or anything paranormal, and they would also see these creatures around there. We had a ball. It was a great experience. Yep.
Did you get any video of them or photos?
No, that was before we really had video capabilities. We did get incredible pictures, some of which you actually have in your queue.
Right. I'll just bring it up then.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so I think we saw that on your
So
web
start
page.
with the one with all of the people. Yes, that is the one that I drew of her. Mm-hmm. Yep, she called herself Tayton to me.
Well, she got eagle feathers there, was it? Or what?
Yep, there is and a red-tailed hawk feather.
She doesn't have legs as such, does she? What is that down there?
That was something that I found with a lot of the fairy folk that I've drawn, is that they kind of peter out at their hands and their feet. They really are more ethereal.
Right. I do realise people think you're probably crazy.
I really don't care anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I enjoy my life, and I know enough people who have had very similar experiences. That I don't care. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. We got a certain skeptic called Lou Reviews in the UFO community, and he reckons people either have a mental problem and need to go and see a shrink to see if they can get it corrected, or hallucinating because they're taking medications or drugs.
None of the above. I smoke a little weed, but that's about it. I don't even drink. So, yeah, nope, not me. And I really don't care what other people think. It's okay with me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's how we all learn.
Yeah. I said, what happens if you got video proof of what you saw? That sort of changes it from hallucination.
I mean, in today's world, you can't even prove that. In today's world, you have AI and you have some incredible video editing software. It's hard to prove any which way.
Unless people know you and trust what you're saying, I guess. People have grown up with me for the last 10 years, and they know when I say something that I'm actually being really truthful about it, and I wouldn't con anybody out of money or anything like that. So when I say I saw a tall white Nordic next to my bed, and I actually get proof of on the video, because I've got two cameras set up. One camera went down, and the other camera was on color mode, and it was good enough to capture enough light in the room because it was early morning, like 5 a.m. And I enhanced it, and bingo, that's what I saw standing next to the bed. So, that to me just proves it. It happened. Plus, when the alien greys showed up and they were sticking a needle in my back, I had a cyst that grew to about 2 inches big, and it was really painful. And it kept leaking from it for 2 months after. And I actually took a photograph of it at its worst to show people. And I didn't even think about it, collecting it for evidence at the time. I just thought I just needed to see, because I couldn't see what was on my back. I could only just touch it with my fingertips. It's right in a place where it's really hard for you to reach to, right? So I took this picture and I went to the doctor and said I got this cyst in the back, and he had a look at it, and he said it was just a skin cyst, but it may have been a skin cyst. It may have been a reaction to the needle that was sticking into me, but I couldn't tell him that what actually happened. And the reason I know that they were there sticking a needle in me is because the next morning I woke up pain-free because I had a really, really bad back pain. And it wasn't around for weeks after. But we got some slowly some pain back in the back, and then it went away again. And I was sitting on the edge of the bed thinking, I'm pain-free. What happened last night? Oh. And these memories started flushing into my mind of this alien grey I was looking at. And yeah, I thought, wow, that was just amazing.
That's really great.
Did they come and fix me up on purpose, or were they experimenting on me? And this is the first time I remember them actually doing anything to me. The funny thing is, Mum said days later that she heard me screaming. I don't know if it was at the same time. She heard me screaming, and she thought it was TV. I had the TV up too loud or something, and she was thinking, oh, I hope he turns the TV down because Dad's going to get angry otherwise, because they're in the room behind me, you see. Yeah, but yeah. So it's all that sort of synchronicity and coincidence going on. But I did have this great big crash sound on the roof one night, and I had the mobile phone set up to detect any sounds and start recording. When I looked on the smartphone, that particular time slot had been deleted off the phone. And I thought, that's really crazy. But I remember getting up and having a look around the house for burglars, or the usual thing. And the dog was dead to the world. You know, dogs normally very sensitive to noises like that and thing. And everybody was dead to sleep in the bedroom of that particular night. And you couldn't wake them. It's like they've been sort of knocked out with a drug, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so, yeah. First time, you know, I've heard lots of people say that aliens can delete things off memory cards, so that's the first time I experienced something strange like that actually happened, and it's not the first time.
Oh, golly.
I also had video get deleted.
I've done a lot of haunted house investigations where they not only drained your batteries, but they would delete cards and film, and I've had them trash my equipment, and not just one either.
Yeah, me too.
Multiple cameras and multiple DVRs just done, fried in one investigation.
Exactly saying what's what is happening with me. And when you tell people this that are skeptics, they just think it's just abnormal camera faults. You know, and it's just nonsense. I know better. I do know something about electronics, and I got 2 degrees in computer science, and so I know my stuff. And my dad was a senior electrician and electronics tutor, and he talked about how chips are made and what's inside chips. And he was in the RAF for UK. He travelled around the world setting up radar systems, including Libya, where we actually went along and lived there for a year and a half before he was stationed there.
Oh, wow.
And we swam in the, is it the Dead Sea or whatever it is there? So, yeah, there's pictures of me on one of these Muslim houses over there, with a flat roof, and playing around with a tortoise, I think it was. I had a pet tortoise as a 1.5-year-old. But yeah, good. That day, that's when the days when the Middle East was friendly with the West, you know. So I'm not sure what happened after that.
Not as much anymore.
Yeah.
Kate,
So
thank you very much, Michael. Yes, and more yes.
you can read better than I can. I have to zoom in to read, unfortunately. Kate, Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. What they talking about? Movies.
Scroll up.
I would sit and get stoned with talk total shite for like 8 hours. Gin and tonic lady. Yes, that's all right. As long as people, as long as people are happy in their lives, that's what the main thing is, right? And a good person.
That is absolutely correct.
You don't need religion, you just need to be a good person.
Oh, Kate, I'd love to know more about where you are. I understand you're in Orlando, but yes, I also connect with the nature thing, and that's where I get a lot of my inspirations. So this particular drawing was inspired by a photograph that was taken, which is also in your queue.
Yeah. I've had a look at it. I may have an explanation for it, but my debunking skeptic self kicks in, but we'll see.
Have at it. Go for it. Let me have it.
So you're taking a snapshot of this party, but there's something in the background up here, I believe.
Yes,
we can zoom on this and have a close look at it. I think. There we go.
Well, there are some other images there that I already zoomed in on too, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. So we've got a light source here.
Yes, that is a.
Yeah, so
that is a tube torch.
Yeah, and we got a light source there, but this one looks like it's connected to the house, the light source there.
Nope, there's no house there. There is a little barn that is about 20 feet back. Then that's what that hard edge is that you see.
Right.
It is behind the gate that you. Are you saying
it didn't have a light on the front of it?
No, sir. It is completely without electricity up there, 100%.
Right. Okay, we'll just go on to the next one. I'd like to, if you had a video of it. Did you actually discover this after the effect, not during the sighting?
Right. Yeah, this was discovered when we were going through the pictures later.
So you're trying to say this is one of these fairies, right? Is the fairy the correct term? But
that's what I think it is. I think that's my girl.
Okay. And there's another.
And that one I have lightened it up so you can kind of see that there is a gate behind that about 10 feet. And then behind that gate, another 10 or 15 feet is a barn. And there is no electricity up there at all.
Now, a skeptic would say that someone may had a torch and a moth or something like that flew by and at the time you snapped the photograph. Because bugs can look, you can see there might be some motion blur happening here. And
if you will scroll the way down, matching a little light right in my lap. Keep going down. Down, down. There it is.
You got a light source here with the fire.
That's the fire. But if you go up on my leg, right there, you will see another light that matches the one above my head.
That one there?
That is
what
right.
You say?
That is what I'm saying.
All right. Is that your son behind, is it?
That's my youngest son, Yes, whenever he was a child, he's now like not a child anymore.
Yeah, time flies. So you're saying this is the barn in question or another barn?
That is the only barn that's right there.
No, is it the barn connected to your story of seeing entities? Or is it another barn?
Yes.
Yeah, yes
it's
to
actually
what?
several barns on this property.
Ah, right. Let me just have a look. On the next one, I think
Michael
is
King
closer.
donated 10 pounds through Super Chat. Colleen is the best guest you have had, down to earth, grounded and very talented.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's certainly very lit up, but I guess when the camera was taken, the flash illuminated something that was there, right?
I mean,
whether it's what you're seeing, or whether it's a bug or a couple of bugs or whatever, doesn't really matter. It's obviously reflecting off something that was there, physical, right?
Yes. Or something there is providing its own illumination.
Yeah, so
one
that's
or the other.
That's all the images we got from you there on that one.
Right.
Have you got any other snapshots like that of creatures? Is that in your sketchbook, is it? Or is it just sketches, not photographs?
No, the rest of them are just sketches, I think. I do have at the very end of the book, I made a werewolf mask, and there are some photographs of that, but that's it for the photos in that book.
Okay. I know you do paranormal investigation too, but you can get into that next if you want.
Sure,
I know we got
it.
some videos here queued up here that you've given. Silly CPU, come on. It's
I don't
really
remember
slow.
which ones I sent to you. It'll be fun to look at.
Let me just bring up the web page again. So in the description here, why is it not scrolling? Let's see. What if fairies, angels, and mystic beings walked among us? Paranormal investigator and artist Colleen Kaufman reveals a hidden world brimming with magic in her enchanting book, The Adventures of a Sketch Diary. I think it's about $13 US, I guess. I think I saw it for 15 as well on different sites. When strange occurrences began plaguing an old barn property cared for by the Kaufman's family, which was quite a big place, 50 acres, was it? I think
it was somewhere. About 54 acres, I think.
Yeah. She discovered it was inhabited by supernatural forces. Her sketch diary documents first-hand encounters with these beings through over 40 how do you say that word? Meticulous drawings and stories. Kaufman gives glimpses of radiant fairies, spelt what's it, the English way, is it? I know there's two different spellings. Yeah, I think there's two different spellings on the same page. You can spell it that way or you can spell it this way. Mysterious spirits, wise elementals, and mystifying supernatural events. You will peek behind the veil as she uncovers the secrets of glowing fairy rings, gets lost in a beautiful but disorientating forest, and dances with elf-like creatures. Experience profound connections with angelic guides, eerie visitations from a banshee, and chilling run-ins with ominous shadows. Kaufman even chronicles being asked to sketch dark entities in exchange for good behavior, and the creepy fulfillment of their promises. The Adventures of the Sketch Diary invites you on a real-life journey into undiscovered realms far few dare to believe in. Let Colleen Kaufman captivate your imagination and open your mind to magical possibilities as she brings enchantment back to the world. My English is not as good as everybody else's because I grew up in different countries and I started school.
I thought you did pretty good.
And also I got my eyes working against me. I got cataracts in one eye, which is far-sighted, so I can't read writing unless I zoom in. Although I'm going to an eye optician in a couple of weeks to see if I can get glasses to solve that. Maybe I'll see what they have to say.
Oh, I hope that helps.
And my right eye is old, and it's like my cataract's eye is like you know how you get leads that are white, and you get leads that are warm, which is more yellow. Well, my right eye is, when I look at white, it's more yellow, and if I look at the new cataracts lens, everything's like super bright white. I mean, it's like 10 times. Maybe exaggeration. At least 3 times the light going into my eye on the left than there is on the right now. But yeah, the problem is I got this damn autoimmune problem. I'm not sure if it's aliens that caused it, or maybe the vaccine that I took with the COVID stuff that caused it, but or amplified it. But it's been downhill since 2019 for me, so, and health-wise. So,
I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah, I live with really sore ankles and feet that's swelling up to really double the size at the moment, and I'm trying to lose weight because the immune system causes me to be really hungry some days, and we're trying to do it with medicines to sort that out and all that sort of stuff. It's been going on for a good year now, so the bad stuff, but it was after I had the cataracts eye operation. They put me on these damn pills that made me like super hungry, and messed up my pituitary gland business. But anyway,
that's the problem.
Enough for me, anyway, but that's why, if I struggle reading, you'll know why. I do get attacked about it, you know. At worst is when I'm on the phone, and I'm using that stupid little touch keyboard on a phone, and you always push the letter next to it, but I don't see it, first of all. To me, it always looks correct until I read it maybe the next day, and where the eyes are a wee bit better, or read it next day on the computer screen, and I think, oh shit, all the typos I got. But people seem to read through it anyway. But anyway, I'm just making excuses, I guess.
No, you know what? Well, I have been going through a lot of the same thing.
So we got the Rabbit Hole Club. I'm not sure what's that about. You maybe want to explain that?
So the Rabbit Hole Club was something that I started after I had my go-round with the COVID vaccine and COVID that not only tore my body up, but also destroyed my career, which is why I changed gears. And the Rabbit Hole Club is, I started my own little podcast that I ignore far too often. And I started doing some things, just some cool podcasts about things that I felt like people needed to know in the paranormal world.
True. Maybe you should interview me for it.
Oh, I'd love to. If you'd like to do that, I would love to do that.
Yeah, we could do that sometime.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like that. Thank you.
No problem. We could do that sometime.
I would love to do something about your
I got a lot of evidence and stuff that I can reveal to people on your shows too, so it makes it a bit more interesting.
I'd love to. That'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah, you started up this club, and it's a podcast. You say.
Yes.
So people can talk to you on it. Has it got like a chat board on there that you can talk to people about their own experiences?
No chat board. It's just the podcast episodes, and a lot of them have some great videos and some awesome images as well. The video gallery is a great place to go to. This will give you exactly where you want to be. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. There's some videos that I've gotten on my own of weird things in the sky and strange lights here and there, and just paranormal fun.
Seems like a couple of years ago, it was your last post, though. A year and a half.
Yes, that's what I said. I've ignored it far too much.
Yeah, so you lose people. Maybe they won't come back and watch it if you set it up again. People,
yeah, I had been.
People are a wee bit like that with the web, you know. If you like, when I lost my live streaming for YouTube for 3 months, I lost a lot of key people and donators, and I don't know, people just got really angry and narky against me, claiming stuff that was not true. I think I had some moles inside my inner circle that were spreading lies about me for God knows what reason. Maybe they were being paid off by competitors, but they caused a lot of damage. And lucky enough, some of my friendships, they came back to me and said they apologized and realized I was correct in the end. So yeah, I think I never shut out people when they go anti me, because
£5 through Super Chat. Wanna say again, Colleen, your art is extremely impressive. Focus on that slightly smiling face.
Yeah, we can go over it more.
Thank you.
Yeah. We ain't got no time limit today. Like I told her, she can keep on going for as long as she likes. But
sure, yeah. We've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're interesting people, you see.
Yes, Michael, there have been some incredibly weird storms in the United States over the last few days. Yes.
Yeah. And of course,
along with a lot of crazy things falling out of the sky and messages on people's TVs and cell phones and all kinds of craziness in the United States over the last couple of days.
Yeah, normally water generates a lot of energy, and they reckon it amps up paranormal stuff. So
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So if you got a stream in your backyard, apparently that can sort of cause a lot of the paranormal to collect there as well.
High crystal or quartz crystal content in your area will also ramp up paranormal activity.
That's right.
We live on an old quarry, an old granite quarry. So we have some, we just moved here this last November. So we have some very interesting stuff going on this property too.
Okay.
Hey, that's very interesting.
Perhaps if I win lotto, I'll come over and investigate with you. If I win a lottery, I'll come over to America and investigate with you, maybe.
Oh, you come on. You bring it, dude. Come on.
Excuse me.
Yes, we've got Michael says that chemtrails were admitted recently also. Yes. Yes, they were. But they didn't call them chemtrails. They called them, what do they call them? It makes me angry to think about this. So, yeah, they did admit to the chemtrails, but they call them cloud seeding instead of chemtrails. The state of Tennessee has petitioned the U.S. government to make it illegal to fly those chemtrails over the state of Tennessee. That doesn't mean that they don't still do. Geoengineering, that's right. Yep, that is absolutely correct. A UFO touched down near an island naval station base? I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
When was that? This week? Or you just talking
yes.
about
near North Island Naval Station Base is what she's saying. Thanks, Kate.
Right.
I think that was Kate.
So at the moment, you got a lot of people from the government trying to say that they were behind making disinformation, and all the UFOs you see in disinformation.
Yes.
I don't believe so. I believe the disinformation was covering up some of the maybe triangle type craft. I believe maybe the government's behind most of those sightings. But
I think that's very, very possible.
Yeah, the classic flying disc ones are different though. They go back quite a fair distance in time, and we wouldn't have that kind of technology even back when those particular photographs or whatever were taken. But yeah, I have got one on my channel. I'm not sure if I showed it to you. That someone
I don't know that you did.
Someone filmed on a smartphone, a latest smartphone, 2018, I think it was. It had optical zoom on it, so one of the new 4K phones with optical zoom. And I got a thumbnail with the UFO on it here. Oh, actually, I go to the home page for it. Go to the home tab. It's the easiest way to get everything.
Ooh, get it.
So,
yes, yeah, Michael, it is completely yes, and they've been doing it a long time.
So he filmed this UFO as he was stepping out of his house in Sussex, I think it was. And
okay.
He only got like 4 seconds of useful video in that time while he's trying to zoom in onto it, because their eyes are a wee bit better than cameras and they can see wider field and better with the brightness and all that than a camera is. But the technology will get there eventually. But yeah, this is silver craft that he filmed. It was heading into a headwind. It was heading into a headwind because it had a vapor trail that was leaking from it that was going behind it like a train. So we know the wind was in front of it, pushing the smoke going backwards, or steam or whatever it was. And he got two views where it was like sort of, it wobbled and tilted, and mostly it was level. And you see it suddenly speed up and disappear, like super fast speed, like hypersonic. But you can see it's a classic hat shape there. And there's a tilted view of it, and you can see it's got a flat top there as well. Kind of looks like, yeah. So that's one of the best footages ever, and this guy is a skeptic and he won't release the video to media. He sent it to MUFON for a few investigators to look at, and lucky enough I managed to know those people, and they asked if I could do some analysis on it, and I did analysis on it to enhance the frames that he got off the video to see more detail in there. And of course, you know about this one here, about the Mojo one that I asked if I could do analysis on it, and we discovered there was some alien creatures at the UFO window. So yeah, the guy was 58 at the time, living up in Oregon there on edge of a swampy land or whatever. I couldn't
remember where that was. Oregon.
Yeah. So I believe him. I've always asked him, did he hoax anything? And he always says no. And no one's come out to out him, because he would have had to have help putting this that video together. Right. So they're the two videos I've got. One I can show the frames off, and the other one I can show the full video of. But they're the two cases that fall in that 1% that can't be written off so easy in my book.
I have one that I would like for you to look at and tell me what you think about it. It's going to be on the Rabbit Hole Club. It's going to be under the video gallery. So when you get a chance, you might check it out. It is some very strange lights that I got in the sky. It's going to be under the video gallery, which is the second one from the right. Go down right there. Yep. Let's see if we can find it in there. I
think I might have it queued up. Is it on YouTube? Is it?
It is on YouTube. Yes.
I think I got all these.
Which is where these pictures link to.
Okay, I got the Rabbit Hole Club one.
Yep.
YouTube, and Show Me Ghost West.
Show Me Ghost West. Aw. No, it's going to be under the Rabbit Hole Club. Now, that one's really cool. There's some great EVPs in these.
I'll just go through the ones I've got queued up here. I've got this one here. I'm not sure it's a special one or not. The best of the...
Yeah, that's a fun one.
EVPs. There's the EVPs.
Yes.
Then we got this one here, which you think might be
That one is insane.
maybe an apparition, but
That
I think it might be the cameraman.
Yes.
I think it might be an internal camera reflection.
It was actually the cameraman and the director who sent this video to me and asked us to please research it.
But yeah, we can have a look at that one.
It was one frame.
Yeah, I've had some crazy stuff picked up on my cameras too. And then this is a light one you're talking about, I think, is it?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. I would love your take on this. I can't even possibly imagine what it is.
Okay, I've seen a lot of videos, so I look at videos pretty much every day, a couple of them every day for the last 9 years. So,
right,
I get to see the same things. Right.
Oh yeah, fast forward past that, I bet.
I'm trying to, but the mouse is not. Not
cooperating.
No.
There we go. It takes a few seconds for me to cue in on it.
I'll just go full screen here. And I'll...
Oh, there they are. All right. I don't know what those are.
It's about halfway through and then all the way to the end, and it is. There they are. It's insane. I can't imagine what these are.
Hundreds of them.
Okay, I can see little white dots up here. I have seen this before. A couple of times
before. They are
before.
so far up there.
They were like...
I think I know what they are.
North of me, and now they are all
right please tell me.
Of me. I cannot tell you what they are. There are hundreds of them.
Yeah. Was the time of this feeling sometime in March, July? At all?
March, it would have been, no. It was, I don't remember, to be honest about it. I would have put this video up immediately after I saw them, so I'm not sure what the date is on the video.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, I thought there was a date coming up. Okay, we got zooming on them. Has it stopped? The old computer's struggling a wee bit for some reason. Still not seeing many of them. The camera's finding it a wee bit hard to find.
There you go.
There we go. We got one there.
They looked like, I don't know, they looked like silver plates that were connected in the middle and they were flapping like a bird. There you go.
Yeah. I believe they're monarch butterflies. They migrate back and forth every year.
Really?
Yeah. Whereabouts was that in your location? Whereabouts were you there?
In Kansas City, Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. I think
so that's
they migrate
dead center in the middle of the United States.
Yeah, I think you see the butterflies migrating from that region, California, all around the place, and they migrate back to Mexico, and then they fly back from Mexico and fly up to where you are there, and they accumulate and they flap around and they move all different directions, and because they're sort of orange. But if you ever look under their wings, it's more like a reflective type of color they have under their wings, and it reflects the sun back at the camera, and they appear to be white because the camera has trouble focusing on them when the things. Yeah. So you said it's like two circles with a thing in the middle, which would be the body of the butterfly, right? That's what it looked like here on one. Yeah.
They were so far up there.
Yeah,
that would have
and
been a
apparently
year
they can
ago.
go up to aircraft level, up to 20 to even
Yeah, they were
30.
absolutely that high in the sky.
They can go to 20 to 30,000 feet, I believe, and they get the slipstream currents, and that's how they just open up the wings, and the wind just blows them along. Occasionally, you see them flap. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
I've seen it on a couple videos. The people don't believe me when I tell them it's migration of butterflies, but it may not be the monarch ones. It could even be some of the other ones. There's one that looks just like a butterfly there, right? That one there sort of gives it away. So if we can go back, you can see it's got two wings either side and a body. And you've got 180 soon. What was the camera that you had that you were filming it? Did it have a optical zoom on it?
I was using my Android.
Oh, right,
I just happened to be in the yard, and I was using it. Yep.
Right. So you can see that's why it's sort of pixelated, but it does look like butterfly wings when you look at it, or in your case, fairy wings. You can see there's the body there. One wing going out that way and another wing, but it is very pixelated.
Oh yeah, it was way up there, and I've enlarged this. I've zoomed in on that like 180%.
Yeah, there you go. It's flipping the wings
Right on.
down.
Thank you for looking at that, Paul.
I think I did post a comment. Did I say it was these ones often turn out to be birds or butterflies, but also you also get pollen that shows up white in the sky like that. Sometimes you get that cotton candy type. Depends on the season, of course, or floating around in the air. It blows off the trees and the bushes and whatever. Spike on USA butterfly migrations and gliding seagulls. You need to zoom in and slow right down to pin it.
Those are all possible. If I told you I thought I knew what they were, I'd be lying.
So in this case, I think those ones are butterflies, nothing paranormal, unfortunately. But yeah, I think paranormal tends to be more in your face, I think, from my experience. You've seen my one with the one that sort of transforms into a demon at the end of the bed after, and then touching my legs, and I wake up screaming at it and tell it to leave or go away. They don't like me. I don't think they're a bit scared of me because I'm not scared of them. Yeah, I'm a fighter, not a scared.
Not a freaker and a screamer.
No. I confront it, but I believe that the alien greys were in that image too, and I think they were trying to trap it and take it away from me. That's what I believe that night when it happened. But I'm not sure what the demon was trying to do. Maybe suck energy off me of some sort. I don't know.
That's what they do. That's how they eat. Is they scare people, or they make them angry or jealous or whatever the negative emotion is, and they chew on that energy.
All right. Here's another video.
Yep.
With lights in the
sky.
That
was very new.
Let me just play it and have a look.
Sure.
I know I'm a bit of a party buster when I debunk things that I believe is not paranormal, but
you warned me. I knew that about you.
That's kind of cool.
But that's me. I like to get rid of the junk so we can focus on the really, really good stuff. People don't realize that. So you got to always be middle ground on these things. So yeah, I'm not sure what I said on this one. I'll read my comment. I posted comments on them.
Brightest thing in the sky.
So this thing here.
Yes. And after I stopped recording and put my phone down is when it
that I was telling you about.
Dipped down in the sky and disappeared.
What's this side here?
Rate.
Is that assuming on that
That
side?
is an inset. That is a zoomed inset.
Of that.
So it is that light in the sky that's been zoomed and inset.
Yeah, we can also add in extra filters on this. If it still works. So we can change the brightness.
Sure, do it.
And we can change the contrast.
Ooh.
And sometimes you see more that you didn't see. So like already we're seeing an extra dot there, which is kind of interesting.
That is a reflection from the extra dot is a reflection from the grain elevator that's standing there.
It does show you got a lot of light saturation. That tends to cause lens flare, unless you move the camera. Unless you move the camera around to show it's not a lens flare, it's sometimes a wee bit hard to tell.
No, I know it's lens flare because I watched it move.
We can turn up the saturation a bit. We can underexpose
do it.
We can unexpose it a wee bit. So there are a couple of big light sources here. Street lamps, is it?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is a grain elevator that's across the street.
And we can even invert it on here. Sometimes that shows up stuff. And we can do sepia, which makes everything orange. I'm not sure if that helps any. But then you can play it at the same time with the filters.
Yep.
And there's a car going past.
Yep.
Okay, so we got it enhanced a wee bit.
And it was throwing off all these weird little lights.
If you can hear me, get very bright.
Right. I may be mistaken. It could be compression artifacts.
Well,
but I think there might be some smoke coming from it.
I don't. Well, maybe.
I'm not sure what's coming off of it, but something was definitely coming off of it.
It kind of looks like some smoke trail coming off it. Often these ones turn out to be those stupid bloody Chinese lanterns, but they're more orangey colour than this because it uses a flame.
Yeah, that was it.
But we also got these things called LED balloons, and people release them from weddings, and they fool a lot of people. They also have like string with weights on the end, so they can actually sort of hover there. Especially if there's not much of a breeze, and they can just the LED lights in it can start flickering, and as the battery runs down, and can even go out and then turn back on, and it really fools people. But
I don't think that's what
this one could fall into a few categories. Unless it moves really strange, it could even be like what they call earth light. Which they believe might
stayed steady in the sky for the entire time I was recording, and then as soon as I put the phone down, I had to deal with the dogs. And as soon as I put the phone down and came back out, it started drifting down, and it landed somewhere. I don't know where, but it was there for a very long time.
Well, that's really like an unknown one in that case, but unless we see it on the video. It makes it a wee bit harder to work out. But yeah, when you see stuff like this, always get the tracking apps out. Like a lot of people get fooled by the International Space Station passing overhead, or Starlink satellites, and also planes.
Oh, for sure.
But this could easily be a distant plane. But you said it went downwards, which kind of suggests that you got a plane heading towards you. You can see it looks like it has some red flickering in it.
How about changing colors? Are you able to change colors? Can you even hear me?
Who are you talking to? Me? Or was that
no,
on the video?
I was talking to no, that's the video.
Yeah, I'm getting a wee bit confused which one's on the video and which is you. So yeah, it could be a plane with landing lights heading towards you that always look like an orb. and it will start flickering because they got strobe lights that sort of get because of the landing lights overexposed, that hides the other lights behind it, and it will go downwards slowly because it's heading towards the airport. Because often the landing lights means like in my case, because I got planes flying overhead all the time, between 50 and 80 kilometers away from the airport, so they start on the downward track, and they make sure all the landing gear's down and all the lights are on and all that sort of stuff. But yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that could easily be a distant plane. But you said you stopped filming it. I
don't think so, but I don't know for sure. So,
well, unless we got the date and time, you could plug it into plane tracking software and the direction you're looking, location. You can actually line it up pretty good. But anyway, unless you've been following my show for a long time and I show you these things, it's very hard for a newcomer to my channel to actually believe what I tell them. But yeah, if this was sipping around, right, if this was doing some crazy stuff that planes don't do.
It was doing some crazy stuff, but it was standing still in the sky for a very long time.
So you didn't actually video it doing some crazy stuff?
I videoed it sitting still in the sky and throwing off little sparks. Like I said, when it started going down in the sky, I didn't have my camera on it.
In this case, I would list this case. Yeah, what we do is we create a list of possibilities, and then we move the best one up to the top of the list all the time. So you could UAP would be on there, distant plane landing lights would be on there, LED wind balloon would be on there. But if you had a signature of this thing moving crazy on the video, then we can eliminate those other ones on the list and be left with UFO orb or whatever.
Sure.
That's generally how we work here on this channel. So yeah,
right on. Well,
if you saw more than what you got in the video, you can only take your word for it, right? Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Now, I've had guests on here that film these orbs in Australia in the mountains. And he claimed that one appeared over his garage out of thin air where he was outside. And he didn't have the camera on him at the time, so he ran back inside. By then, the thing had started moving off. So he got a video of it moving off. And it looked like... and when I enhanced the video, it looked like it was like a plasma ball. It had like little sparks coming off the outside of it. And I said, I don't know if that would be some sort of black ops craft using negative ions and plasma to move along, or it's just something natural that they would call earth lights. Australian, it's got a special name for them. I can't remember what it was called now. But yeah, so again, people do see these orbs that look like they're sparkly, like you're saying, which could be something natural, it could be something paranormal. We don't know, but it's just not enough information, not enough captures of it, well, especially not zoomed in. You know, if you zoomed in on that. The thing is, you don't see them during the day like that. You always get them at night time or early morning or early evening. Anyway, we'll just close that one down.
It stayed in exactly the same place for over 6 minutes, and that's whenever I shut it down and had to deal with my dogs. Yeah,
but if a plane's if a plane's in a flight path, right? With landing lights, it could be coming towards you for 6 minutes. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, I found this on Wikipedia about Fairies. Sylphs, yeah. Which I think it has a picture of them. They're like sky beings, I suppose.
Yes, they are.
It talks about how it gets linked into the fairy mythology. Further down here, Swiss-German physician and alchemist Paracelsus, whatever his name is, created the term Sylph. Sylph. Strange word, 16th century. Described an air spirit.
Yes.
And because it links into earth, wind, and fire, water, and all that sort of stuff. Elemental spirits. Stupid mouse. I don't know. Well, computers acting strange today. In literature, 1668 German novel, French pseudo novel. It goes on and on and on a bit here. 1976 British novel, Guardian Spirit for the female antagonist. In popular culture, Willow character on Terry Brooks' Magic Kingdom. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
No. Associated with fairies, here we go. Because of the association with the Ballad of La Sylphide, or whatever it is, we're identified with fairies and medieval legends of fairyland. But
they all kind of hang out in the same place.
Yeah. But you're saying they're real. Well, this is saying they're mythology, right? Folklore.
I mean, there's a lot of mythological things that are probably real. Yes, I am saying that I have experience with them.
Yeah, okay. All right, there's your photograph. I had it queued up there as well. And this one, we could have a look at this one, I guess.
That's a crazy one.
I still think it might be the camera artifact. Anyway, we'll just go through it.
So it was the cameraman and the director and the editors who sent that clip to me. And they sent the clip to me, but it was only affecting one frame.
Right. Yeah. It can happen. Internal camera artifacts are very strange. But anyway, just
for a feature film called The Albino Farm. This movie was written as a horror flick based on an old Ozark legend. While the filmmakers may have taken artistic license with their interpretations, and the movie was not shot at the actual location, the Albino Farm itself is very real. It's surrounded with bizarre stories, scary legends, and a strange vagueness in the local historical archives. When the film went into post-production, the editors found something quite unusual in the footage shot on a country road just outside of Warrensburg, Missouri. The following is an email from the assistant editor to the producers.
About 3 nights ago, we were working on a compositing shot and we were trying to remove some garbage with a difference mat. In the middle of this process, we saw the image attached to this email. I assure you that no Photoshop work has been done, and this is with a difference mat between a lockdown shot with the dwarf and the same lockdown shot without that person. What you are seeing is a degraded image of the original, and I have no idea why this happened. We shot with a Sony Cinealta F900 at 1080p, 23.98 frames per second on brand new Sony HD cam tapes and compressed to DV for an offline edit. Let me know what you think. It freaks me out every time I look at it.
Imagine being this editor. You're wading through the footage late one night when a quick glitch in the film catches your eye. You isolate the glitch in a single frame and find this image staring back at you. That's where we came in. Since there didn't seem to be a technical or logical reason for this image anomaly, producer Joe Anderson asked us to give our paranormal opinion. Understand that only one frame in this footage was affected with this anomaly, and the only enhancement we made was to adjust the brightness and contrast. What you are seeing here is the actor crouched in the middle of the road with his back to you. This image has become known as the Dwarf Road image and has stirred up a lot of interest, particularly around the old dwarf himself, Paul Ford. This is the film clip in question from the Albino Farm movie, minus the frame containing the anomaly. We slowed it down for easier viewing.
I think you need to slow it down a lot more.
We decided it was time
really
to take a trip to Dwarf Road.
Yeah, you still need to slow it down more.
We put up our safety cones and sported the very stylish safety vest to begin our night vigil at Dwarf Road.
Okay, so here I'm now in the dark.
Anyway, I'll just go back.
So there is another anomaly that we actually find while we're there also.
Okay, so the car's going past the actor. And we're just trying to see where it comes up. You can see there's motion blur on the car. Because it's only 24 frames a second. It's not high speed
just below
motion.
24 frames, yes.
Okay, so just to have a look at the image on this. We've got windows here that sort of reflecting light. I'm not sure there's something appearing there already, but we'll just step through it. This is the stuff I like to look at, as you can imagine.
Go for it. Have at it.
Just trying to see where it comes up. I think it's comes up around about now somewhere, doesn't it? You can see here there's already something happening, like the light reflection as that car's going past. You see that there on the image?
I do.
So you can see there suddenly is a smudge of light as the car is almost opposite the camera. And we got this big smudge of light now. See that there?
I did, yes.
And it's sort of illuminating the whole thing. We didn't actually see that on fast motion though, did we?
Okay,
is it where you split? Oh, that's where. That's why it's happening now.
Yeah, that's a transition effect. That did not come from the original.
Yeah.
Video.
Okay.
That
We need to go.
effect.
We need to go back a bit, I think. So where did it happen? There somewhere, was it?
Nope. No, that car was completely out of frame.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go back a bit because you do the transition effect gets in the way. I think you repeat.
So
it
I
a
go
couple
through
times.
this. I repeat this several different times, so you should be able to get to it.
Yeah, I'm just going back frame by frame at the moment. We'll just go back.
There you go.
Okay, so you can see there's a lot of motion blur there, and you can see it spilling over on the lens. Yeah, look.
So what you're going to have to keep in mind is the video that they were editing when they found the anomaly, when they found the artifact, did not include the car. It was just the actor. They actually did a composite of the two together to create the final video. So the video.
Right. Okay.
The video in question with the anomaly was just of the actor. It did not include the car.
Have we got the one with the actor then, have we? Without the car?
I do. I need to see if I can find it.
Because that does change the whole story straight away, you see. Because there's a lot of reflection coming off that off this car where they've merged it. And you can see the merging of light effect that's happening. Because it's reflecting off the camera, and now if they're merging the two videos together, then the light that's reflecting off the car is going to be added on also onto the person.
Let's see if I've got it here.
But where was the face that appears? There, I think. Might have to run some filters on it.
Well, you help yourself, and in the meantime, I will see what I can find. That was something that they sent to me, and I don't remember. That's not. I'm going to have to find it for you, hon.
Yes, doesn't matter. We should better see it in the merged thing, unless they chopped out that frame. Did they chop out the frame on this?
They
or
did.
They leave it?
Yes.
So we won't see it on this shot then.
They took that one frame out because they could not get it correct for the video. So they took that frame completely out, and then they combined the two. They combined the two videos of the car and the actor to make it.
We want the raw images to analyze, really, but.
Yeah, I don't have the original video with that frame inserted. I don't have that.
So we don't know what's either side of the cameraman here. Whether it could have reflected. They may have had one of those reflectors. You know how they have lights and they have these big reflectors. So I can tell you
about that because I was actually there for the filming of this. I was on set for this filming. I was right there behind him, where the cameraman would be. That's where I'm going to be standing. Everybody on crew is standing behind the cameraman, which is, you can see where he is. He's right behind the actor.
Yeah, but you can't, because cameras, they have shields either side of it to stop lens flare, don't they, on those commercial cameras? They have these big side things that come.
They absolutely do, and on this particular day, it was a cloudy day. So there was no sun.
So they didn't have the side things on? Or like the big black... They didn't have them on the camera. Was the camera like just normal lens, was it? Because if they had the side bits on, that would eliminate internal... Are you asking if it had
barn doors on it?
Yeah, I suppose they call them barn doors.
The barn doors are the ones that are on each side and on top and bottom?
Yeah, they stop lens flare generally. That's what they use it for.
I don't remember if they did or not. I don't remember
if they had those on, if they had those on, then it makes it even harder to explain because internal lens problems happen on the side of the camera lens. So if you get a reflection that hits the side of the lens, it can actually then create a superimposed image of whatever was reflected. So say if someone's standing behind the cameraman and you got a reflector, their image is being reflected, or some of their light off them is being reflected back at the camera on the side, and then it ends up being superimposed because the camera has multiple lenses in it, so it creates a false image. But yeah, it's a really interesting case. I couldn't honestly
tell you, Paul. I don't remember if it had barn doors on it that day or not. Usually they run with barn doors, but I don't specifically remember if they did that day or not.
Generally, if that's the case, you'd have to get a face photograph of all the people that were there that day and eliminate them not fitting this, right?
Oh, I can tell you right now that it matches nobody's face who was there. I know all those people. I worked with them for years.
All right. And does it match any of the legends of people that were there in the past? Is the other thing you'd have to look and do a side by side. That's how I would put this video together to make it convincing. You know, I'd say, well, it didn't. Internal lens interactions didn't happen because it had barn doors, blah, blah, blah. People were situated here behind the cameraman, and lights and reflectors, or whatever they use, were here. Then you can sort of piece it all together. Yeah, so you can eliminate things, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting.
For sure. Yeah, no,
interesting video. Yeah, I'm not sure what other people down the side think. I'm just trying to get people to not always think paranormal, but always think that, are we being fooled by something, you know, something natural,
or
whatever, you know. If you can really prove it, it's really paranormal, that's just awesome, you know, if you caught it on camera, right? Now, I'm not sure if you've seen a show called with Ben Hansen. I can't remember what it was called now. He does a paranormal show, and they call it a full apparition walking through frame when no one was in the house, so they had all the cameras set up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the best capture I've ever seen, and he's an FBI guy. If he's lying, about how it was captured, because he was the one that was sitting in the van at the time with the monitors, and he goes, "Wow, what did we just see?" You know, they're sort of filming them, and he's in the camera looking at the thing. He says, "You got to see this," and he gets them in to watch it on the monitor, play it back, and you can see this lady in white walk through the hallway, like she was holding some letters, like she'd been outside to the letterbox and was bringing them back in, you know, like maybe post on the door or whatever. I've actually got a breakdown of it for you on a live show I could send to you after the show to have a look at if you want.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see it.
But it's way better than a single frame, because it's on multiple frames and it lasts a good 10-15 seconds, I think it was. It's just amazing footage.
Wow.
Nice. I know various other people like Ghost Adventures claim to have caught apparitions. Have been very much like this one, with something walking through attics, right? Where you can see like a ghostly figure. But the Ben Hansen one is way, way better. Oh, your video's just dropped. What's happening?
Yep, I'm back. I'm back.
yeah, your video. I'm not sure if you were turning off the video or we're losing you.
No, apparently my signal says it's very good, but it keeps dropping.
I will post this one to the site for everybody to have a nosy at.
Yeah,
so
please do, for sure.
I'll do that now. If my computer can keep up with me. The ghost head, I guess. So who was the character meant to be? Someone that got killed on the road, or what? Did you find out?
No, it was one of the locals from, they call it the Albino Farm, which is a real place, and it was supposed to have been a place for outcasts. This is historically correct, by the way. It was a place for outcasts, according to the local religious leaders, and those outcasts inbred, and so they had all kinds of different birth defects and issues with the people who lived there. So this was one of the occupants of the Albino Farm.
Ah, okay. Sounds like a place that Ghost Adventures and was it Taps would have gone to investigate as well, by sounds of it.
You know, right. It was I went to the real Albino Farm, and it was a creepy, creepy place.
They're talking about all sorts of things on the side, nappies of all things. Green goo. Don't you just love kids?
I just do. My mom would say, yep, baked, boiled, or fried.
Yeah, so I've posted it out on all the side chats there. Grab it before it gets deleted by YouTube or whatever. And they don't like us talking about paranormal as well as UFOs, so they sort of suppress us a bit. Oh, why is it not scrolling? There's a bug in this. There's a bug. Okay, let's move on. See, yeah, probably one of the more interesting guests with at least some video evidence and stories, at least, which is good. It's always good to have
thank you.
Some fresh faces on here. But you're welcome to always come and join us on any other live show on the side chat if you're bored or whatever. But
thank you. Yeah, sure.
And we got one here of EVPs that you want us to play as well, don't you? So let's have a look at that one.
Oh yeah, if you like good EVPs, there's some fun stuff in this one.
Class A, Class 1A are really good ones, but yeah, the other ones I hear when they play it and they put up the words on the screen, I hear something different to what they claim they hear, so, but yeah, definitely, okay. But you can prove that they got it on multiple mics now, which they say this is when we heard it with our own ears, and we also got it on the mic on the camera, but we also got it on our recorders. When they do evidence like that, it's really hard to fabricate the evidence, right? And claim it's some sort of quirk there's some sort of quirk with the radio interference to the microphone on the device that's being used. Blah blah blah. Hey,
Right.
Mike.
Michael King
That's-
donated £5 through Super Chat. Paul, Colleen brought out the
Aw.
best in you. Your buzzing, slightly smiling face at Kate in Orlando is cool AF, by the way.
Yeah. So let's just move on to the EVPs.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thanks. I'm always scared to do EVPs because that sort of invites them in more, and I don't want them when I'm sleeping and stuff.
Well, no, you just have to put up the rules. You can't come in. That's it.
Nah, yeah. It's hard enough to sleep as it is.
That was very clearly get out.
Yeah, that's clear when you slow it down.
It's not slowed down.
Although it says clear out. I thought I heard clear
So
out, you know.
it was the same spirit on two different occasions. One says get out and the other says help me out.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's funny how this speech is sped up on some things, and you slow it down, it starts to make sense. It's like
yes,
it's like they're on a different time frame, you know, like they're on fast speed and you're on slow motion or something, you know. Again, this could be not necessarily someone that's died in that property, but it still could be like some entity that's come through a portal there that used to live there.
So
it could be some creature, but it could be a human that's also seeing you at the same time, but they're in another universe, but through the portal they see you as a ghost as well, or they see you as a intruder. Of course, the first thing you're going to say is get the F out of here, because you think it might be an intruder. So you got to think of it like that as well, that it may not be someone that's died, it might be someone that's living, but in a multiverse, and they're seeing you and they freak out, and they see you as something spiritual or whatever, you know.
That's really an interesting perspective. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. I know I've talked about it before, but it would make sense why the sound would be sped up, because through the portal the time compression would be altered and it would be sped up. So that would explain why that is. I'm just looking at a scientific view and stuff that's been fed through me through dream states to try and explain things, because the multiverse idea fits in with lots of things: time slips, time travelers, strange entities coming in, Bigfoots, and aliens, of course. So we just keep on playing it.
My name is Chris. I've lived in Butler for about 10 years. The year is 2008.
So it did sound like get out something. Sounded like 3 words, was it? Get out.
It sounded
there?
like, to me, it sounded like they said get out quick.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell because it's sped up.
It's September.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that, but again, it could be get out.
To me like when
it could
she
be
told
get out.
them
That's sort of. Oh, right, yeah. It could still be get out, but it's joined together, you know, out. But yeah,
that's very possible.
Yeah. Just keep on listening.
What's your name?
I'm really good at this stuff, amplifying sounds. I can use Audacity and the various filters to amplify that really low sound up and bring the details out and get rid of the background noise, of course.
Oh.
But you probably wouldn't know how to do that. But
if you want to play some EVPs, I will hook you up.
Yeah, so if you had the video of you actually on one in like a picture on picture and then playing the waveform, that'd be more obvious that you're not playing around. It's from the actual investigation, right? If someone's filming you asking the questions, let's do it like Ghost Adventures. It becomes more credible then, I think. But yeah, just carry on.
That's true.
That one's a fairly loud one. That peaked, but. But
what's your name?
It was a bang.
How old do you think you are? Have you tried to communicate with people before? Do you want us just to leave?
That sounded like yes.
Yes.
Yeah, slow down.
This is
maybe too much.
I'm hearing music.
Do you want us to leave? Yes. Whereabouts was that? In an old hotel, did you say? What's the location?
No, actually, it was a high school and jail. And this is what he heard in the parabolic. It was music.
Right. Sounds like a recorder.
So he heard that in the parabolic as well as the recorder picking it up at the same time.
You didn't hear it with your own ears, though.
No, I didn't hear it with my ears. The rest of the team didn't hear it with their ears. He was able to hear it through the parabolic dish, and the recorder that we had set up down the hallway also picked it up.
So you got it on two devices at the same time, which is pretty cool. It sounded like a recorder, cool. like a kid playing a recorder, I think.
Or a piano, an old clunky piano.
It didn't sound like a piano to me. It sounded like a recorder. What do you think?
It also sounded to me like, well, I've been over this a lot, but it's also sounded to me like there was a vocalization, a singing, like some kind of an instrument and a singing voice as well.
Okay, we'll just keep on playing it.
Sure.
I still say it's recorder.
Maybe.
My dad used to play
that
it.
One.
It didn't sound like a piano because I actually do play keyboard myself, or try to. I self-learnt. So I actually have done some music myself and used it on videos.
You're very welcome to check out the raw audio. I do have the raw audio from that.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time. There's so much going on, you know, and there's not enough hours in the day, and of course my health slows me down too now lately as well, which is a bum.
I understand.
Okay, EVPs. So that was pretty cool. It's not the best ones I've heard, you know. Some of them are really, really clear when you see them on these particular ghost hunting shows. But of course, everybody's skeptical of EVPs, saying it's you know, like defects in the recording equipment where electromagnetic waves from a radio tower or whatever can actually influence the induct into the cable of the fine wires of the microphone and actually produce audio, a bit like a crystal radio. That's the explanation away from it, but to get that on hear it with your own ears and recorders, they're the best ones, where you actually see them filming it and you hear a kid scream out, right? And you think, does that sound like an owl or animal? Because some of them do sound like they could be an animal, but those ones can sound like a kid as well, right? But when they got speech, like a full-blown speech sentence as well, and they hear it with their ears as well as recorders, they're the best ones. It's very few of them though, but I've probably watched every sort of paranormal episode that's ever come out, and there is occasionally some really, really good stuff. Sometimes they don't capture anything, and that's when they start fabricating stuff, which is the Colleens, because they want to keep the ratings going. Then, because they're on TV, it does put a bit of doubt on things. But
sure does.
I think people will watch a paranormal. I think people will watch a paranormal investigation even if they didn't find anything on that location at all, because people will want to see if anything happens. So you don't need to mess around to get ratings, But sorry.
And we proved that we don't jack around with stuff like that. The most we do is increase the volume or adjust the contrast and the brightness. And I can tell you from personal experience and from working in the film industry that 99.9% of the paranormal shows out there are completely produced. They're not necessarily real. They're produced.
Because other people go there, normal investigators, and say the place is absolutely silent, and yet these other TV shows found stuff.
Right.
I know there was a breakup between Nick and what's his name, Sack. And they broke up really badly, apparently. Because there was no sort of farewell episode there. Nick's leaving us, be sad to have not in part of our team anymore. It's sort of, he disappeared suddenly, like he was killed off. But
I've just never been a Zach Bagans fan. That's not my thing at all.
I kind of like Nick though. Nick seemed more grounded and more honest. But he did use a crazy sort of contraction from that guy. I can't remember what his name was, where it sounds like an echo chamber. And I'm very highly suspect of that device unless I see the circuit diagram and what chips it has in it. But if they just use plain recorders, then I believe it more than these fancy devices, But that one that splits across spectrums, different radio channels, what they call it, a spirit box or something.
Yep, the spectrum analyzers are not the yes.
They have a full sentence that goes right across all the frequency, even where there's not even a radio station and static.
Yes.
I believe that's actually happening and can't be debunked as far as I'm concerned, because they show it's going across 150 frequencies when that sentence happens. It's very short little bursts. So that says the sound was implanted into the recorder electronically somehow through paranormal.
So in real time, and when you're right there listening, it's very unlikely to be able to be fabricated. However, behind the scenes with filmmaking, it is absolutely very simply easy to fabricate stuff like that.
Of course. My
sister, in today's world, it's just hard to tell.
My sister's kids used to have paranormal happen to them. Her oldest one had his quilt being pulled off him at night time, and he would tell it to F. He would say swear words at it, tell it to F off. And the sister would wake up. The sister would wake up some nights with a kid screaming in the ear, saying, "Wake up, wake up!" And she'd wake up and it'd be like 3 a.m. or whatever, and there's nobody in the room, none of her kids. She goes and checks on the kids, and they're all asleep. But when he got older, he joined up with like a paranormal investigator like yourself, and they went to a place in Christchurch, I think it was, and they were sitting in this old century home, and they could hear footsteps in the upstairs walking around, and they knew there was nobody in the house whatsoever. And the footsteps one is a very common one, isn't it?
Yes,
so,
it is.
yeah.
Yep. And doors closing. Yep.
Yeah.
Those things are very common
with
hauntings. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, what's these guys saying down the side here? Where's my cursor disappear to? I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, are they talking about each other, or are they talking about what we're talking about?
I don't know. Looks like they're talking to each
other. I don't think it's anything towards us or you at the moment, Christians. What's this? Had to come back. Paul's criticizing is actually a good thing, though it may come across as offensive
he warned
at times.
Me about this.
Yeah,
he did.
really
he warned me about this.
His
the
way
very
of
first
pushing.
Contact we had.
Yeah, it's my way of asking the hard questions, right? And if a host doesn't ask the persons that's making the claims the hard questions, that's sort of copping out in my book. All right, but like I said, I'm middle ground. I do believe some people have real experiences, and sometimes some of the experience they think is real is also explainable. It's just that they're sort of, they've sort of grown up with the paranormal and they think everything's paranormal, which is the case. It's often not. Like we've had what looks like shadows walking down the hallway. And when I've looked, I see that there had been a cloud pass over the sun, and it was shining through the window. And of course, the lighting had changed in the room where the door was open, and it wasn't actually a person walking along, but it was actually the cloud moving along the sun, and it was causing a shadow in the hallway. So it's things like that can throw you off, because there's paranormal activity that happens in your house, and you just wonder if that was. Yes. But it's always good to always question everything that you experience, because some of it might be explainable and not actually paranormal. But I don't know about you, but I have paranormal happen throughout the day. It might not be at night time, but it can happen during the day too. Now I've been sitting in the kitchen where the door handles wobbled, that sort of thing, and also turned and opened the door, and when it was shut. And you get the cold blast of air go past you. And I think, that just made a shiver go right down my spine. And I think, damn, I wish I had cameras set up then. A lot of the good stuff happened before I got cameras. Once I got cameras, it sort of died down a bit. But I have got some strange stuff where the hall lights, sensor lights would turn on, and there's nothing there, not a cat, not a mouse or anything like that, or a spider or whatever.
Right.
And like I've shown you that demon one, but there's more to that footage I've yet to process that I've spotted, where something actually fades away, but it's still there. If you use the right filters, you can see it moving along, which is not an orb, of course. Of course, the girl one you've seen. I've shown you the girl one next to the bed as well, I think. I'm not sure now. I think I did send it to you. What was the other ones?
I think you did.
I had various orbs as well. I had various orbs, strange orbs that seemed to be too bright, and they seemed to come through the curtain. I don't believe there were bugs, because everything was closed during the day. The windows and doors were closed during the day, and nothing was opened up. So there shouldn't have been any insects or moths in the room when I caught this one that flies zigzaggy over me. And I've caught various ones like that, but I'm not really an orb fan. I like full body apparitions and strange stuff where the lights trigger. But one night I was sitting in the bedroom, and and I decided to go to the kitchen to get a drink, and all the lights are on. My touch lamp next to the bed was on, and I had this LED light on a stand, like a disco light, and I come back to find both lights are off, and my phone was turned on. I had it turned off. It was on the side of the bed on the table. It was turned on, and it was already on the camera mode. And I thought that's really strange, because the app would have been touched to bring it up. Even when you boot up the phone, you know how you boot up the phone, it always goes back to the home screen. And then the light turned on, the LED light turned on, and it's almost like inviting me to start recording. So I didn't even think about that at that time to do what was going on. I thought, this is really crazy stuff going on. So I didn't think much about it, and I thought that maybe the LED light was faulty or some stuff like that, but I couldn't explain why the side bed light had been turned off, because you literally have to put a hand on it to get electrostatic on it. I couldn't explain why the phone had turned on, but I suppose it's possible. Crazy stuff does happen with electronics where it can self-power on. Maybe it was a button that was not fully pressed in and it popped out or something. Oh, I don't know. But I sort of in my own head sort of writ it off. And then the following night I was sleeping, and I thought I heard click sound going on. So I woke up and I saw I had on a tripod one of these lights that you use for filming, and you know, one of these floodlights where you want to turn it on and illuminate yourself, right? And it was fully charged. But I was watching this thing, and I heard the click again, and I could see the LED lights that were talking about the battery level going up and down. And I know you can't get that unless you click the buttons. And so that sort of got me to turn on the touch lamp and then start investigating it. And I found the battery's totally flat, just like you were talking about that happens to you. Yep. And I thought that was really strange. These are really big batteries in this light that should last a whole day with it lit up. So unfortunately, again, I didn't have any cameras and I didn't document it, and it's, you know, it's sort of when you're waking up and you don't think about that sort of thing, you sort of, your mind's switching, what's going on here? Am I dreaming or whatever? But that was one thing that happened to me. And the other thing is I had what felt like a goat or a two-legged creature jump on the back of me, and it was taking a step. I could feel it stepping on my back, moving forward. And I thought, what did I do here? Because I was laying on my stomach on the side, and I was on the opposite side to where the touch lamp was. So I knew I'd have to really jump up and dive across the bed and touch the lamp, because it was on the other side, because it was on a queen size bed. I sleep on a queen size bed. And I was on the other side, which was really abnormal. Normally I sleep on the side where the lamp is, and this night I was actually sleeping the other direction. Maybe because I had a stomach upset or something. You know how you change sides depending on your stomach or whatever. And I felt this thing jump on to me, and I think, oh shit, it can't be a cat. I was thinking, I was trying to rule it out in my head. It can't be a cat because there's no window open and the door's shut. And we don't have a cat in the house. And the dog's normally sleeping with the parents, and they got their door shut. So I was thinking, what the hell's going on here? Is it an intruder? And I had this funny sensation, like sort of like, I don't know, it's like something stepping through you. You know, it's like a touch of death almost.
That's not okay.
You know, no, it felt like a touch of death, like something had passed through you, and it sort of caused like a tingling sensation in the back. So I thought, stuff this. I jumped up really quickly, and the weight disappeared, and I slid across the bed and quickly touched my hand on the light, and sure enough, there was nothing in the room. And I thought, am I losing my mind? I don't normally take painkillers. I don't take any sort of drugs, and I wasn't drinking, and I don't smoke or do weed and anything like that. And I thought, that's really strange. But it happened at least a couple more times, at random times during that year. And I don't know what it is even still today, but it did feel like something with two legs that felt not normal feet, maybe like a dog's foot or a cat's foot or even a goat's foot, a hoof, so to speak. And then years pass on, and then I get that orb that forms into a demon, and I thought, well, there you go, there's that goat creature maybe that was jumping on the back, now touching me again on the feet. So I don't know if it's crazy or not, but I know it sounds crazy, but it all started because
crazy things happen. I can't judge.
Yeah, the paranormal in my life started because of my sister. Now, she went out and got hitched up with a guy and then separated them, a bit like yourself, and ended up renting a property that was near a graveyard that was on a hill. It looked like it had like reclaimed church land where she was renting, which would make a lot of sense. They may have dug up the coffins and removed them or whatever. But she was laying in bed one night, and these two little girls in white period dresses come running into the room, she said. She was sort of drifting off. And her little daughter come running in minutes later, like they were playing hide and seek, and she looked in through the bedroom. She saw her daughter standing there, and the two girls ducked behind the bed, because she had like a wooden foot to the bed. What do you call it? Not a foot brace, not a panel behind. And she thought the two girls were hiding behind there, and she says to her daughter, "Where's those two girls that you're playing with?" And she looked at her mother funny, and she ran off. So the sister got out of bed and looked behind where she saw the kids stuck down, thinking they went under the bed or something. Wondering, not even thinking at the time, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, that there shouldn't be any kids running around the house at night. And she saw none of these kids. Yeah, and I was thinking maybe the kids died from influenza, because I think there was some that the area there had influenza, and kids and mothers died of the flu. Back in those days, the flu was pretty bad. But
that's very, very possible.
Yeah, and of course, months passed later. She was up a ladder one day in the daytime, and she was hanging up a picture to make it more homely in this rental property, and she felt something push the ladder from underneath her, and she almost fell off the ladder. So that was really strange. And of course, she never thought really much about it. Then a month went past, and she was laying in bed, and the son was screaming out for the mum. And so she goes and sees him, and he kept saying, "This white lady keeps appearing in my bedroom, touching my forehead and saying it's all going to be all right." Like a mother checking on the fever or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, don't worry about it, son. It's just your imagination. The sheets pulled up here. It's probably touching your head." And he said, "No, Mum. This was a real lady." So this is a boy that went talked about the quilt being pulled off him later on, and also talked about going to this haunted house and hearing footsteps when they're investigating. So yeah, he's adult now, full blown adult, and not a baby anymore. But time flies, and
story.
Yeah, and then after that, she moved to a house not far away from us, maybe a couple of street walks away, and she met this other guy in her life that took her along to a medium. And as she was walking through the door, the medium was greeting people, and she said, hang on. I know you're skeptical. You don't believe in this stuff. But she said, I've got this young boy standing next to me saying that he knows you, and in a couple of weeks' time, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. And she thought that was a really strange message she got. So she went there and just enjoyed the performance or whatever, reading of other people. And we didn't think much more of it. And I was also at university staying with my mum back then, and we used to rent out the top of the house, and this guy that was at top, he left, but he liked living with us. He was like a car groomer, but he had some sort of like I don't know, some sort of mental problem, but he used to smoke weed very heavily and I don't know, and do primal screaming at night time. I don't know what that was about, but he eventually was asked to leave, and we never heard from him for a long time. But until these letters arrived for him out of the blue, and so Mum phoned up, she looked up the contact and found a emergency contact for him, which was his mother. And the mother said, "Oh no, he committed suicide a month ago."
Oh,
yeah. Gassed himself in one of his cars or whatever. And my sister's story then sort of went bingo. This is the guy that was standing next to the medium, and he said, "In 2 weeks' time, you'll get something happen that will actually make you realize who I am." And bingo, the letter.
Oh, wow.
Amazing, huh?
Oh,
and
wow.
So more paranormal started happening after that. I don't know if it was him visiting us or whatever, but my sister had
opening things up.
Yeah, my sister had homestays, Japanese and Chinese and whatnot. They claim to see a man walk past a doorway and a big lounge which had no other doors to it, wearing a top hat, a classic hat man, shadow man, hat man type story. And my sister said, "Oh, you're probably seeing the ghost of my granddad who was in the army. He wore hats like that or whatever." And also other things happened, like what was amazing, one day she heard this noise, like a toy being played with. The kids were at kindergarten or whatever, school, and she was the only one home. She heard this thing going around inside a toolbox. Not a toolbox, a toy box. She opened up, saw this old plain toy that with flashing lights and wheels on it. It was spinning around. So as soon as she opens up the lid and it sort of stops spinning and the lights go out, and she grabs it, opens up the battery bay to find no batteries in it. And I thought, damn, that would have been really, really good to have if you had a smartphone back then to have recorded this, because this would have been amazing evidence. And so she decided to go and get 2 brand new batteries and put it in this toy, and turned it on, and it wouldn't turn on. And she realized, oh yeah, that's right, it was broken years ago. So not only did the paranormal somehow power it, but they also managed to fix it. Until she showed up.
Hilarious.
That's an amazing story, though. But I don't think she was telling lies or anything like that, and she wasn't on drugs or anything like that. She was pretty much like me. And the next thing that happened was apparently one of the homestays saw a pot plant on a stand lift up in front of her and drop on the floor and smash. And because my sister went running in there and say, "Oh, well, you just kicked off the pot plant off the stand." She says, no, it lifted up. So that's got to take a lot of energy to do that. So it was a fairly heavy pot.
Yes, it is.
So we had all these sort of things, and I can just go on and on and on about all the sort of things we had happen, but that's my introduction to paranormal, and it's just sort of been following me around since then. Although in the last year, everything's suddenly gone. Maybe since I don't know. I'm not sure why. Paranormal ceased. Maybe because I asked them to go away. Maybe they finally did go away. But
that's possible.
Yeah, and the aliens may have also left. The aliens may have left me alone too. Maybe they're finished with what they were doing.
If we took a little bit of a break.
I was just going to say that. Do you want a little break, and then you can talk more of your stuff? But yeah, I'd like to.
Absolutely.
Grab a drink too, maybe, and so I'll just put up some credits here. You can step away, and we often have a break midway anyway, so let people grab their drinks and whatnot.
I have 3 puppies who are just needing to potty, and so do I. See you soon.
You can. Right, I'll just put on some music meantime, and you can do your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna past it. Yabby. Where's my? I got my artwork. I'll do the Van Gogh thing this time. It's something different. Van Gogh. How'd you say it? Here we go. I think it's finished, isn't it? I just got back. Okay, and
thank you.
Little video made with Van Gogh there. I actually got one of my artwork. Yeah, just something different for a break video. Anyway,
it's a good one.
How many hours have we been doing now? I'm having fun. I don't know about you. We're coming up to what, 3 hours? So
yeah, we're coming up on 3 hours.
If you ever get tired or anything, just say you want to go. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
But if you want to talk about any more of these videos here, we can go ahead and do anything you want now. So it's over to you, I guess.
Well, I'd like to spend a few more minutes with you and talk about, I don't know what I want to talk about. There's so much.
Yeah, I know. But it's all good.
So maybe we can call it. Maybe we can call it at about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Maybe I'm gonna go and get some
whatever you're comfortable
dinner
with.
done.
I'm quite happy to go another hour or so. I'm quite.
Bless your heart. Okay, so I do need to get some dinner around for my family. My husband works night, so I'll have to get around for some dinner here pretty soon. But I am surely enjoying your talk. Thank you.
Yeah, you can always come back another day, even.
I would like that a lot.
Anything
sure,
new?
And I'd like to have you too.
Sure, quite open to that. Most people won't have me because they see me as a debunker, but they're missing out on some good content.
Michael
I think
King donated £2 through Super
when you
Chat.
got a
Paul, check messages on Discord. Chat broke.
Okay, well, yeah, a debunker that also has experiences is someone that you should be listening to. So I'm that sort of guy, you know. Someone that doesn't do.
I appreciate.
But I haven't seen any.
I love the Calvin found you.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like you have with the fairies and the trolls or whatever. But sometimes I think everything's connected. Now, this thing I was experiencing on my back, and then later having this massive back pain for years. And then having the alien shot and stick a needle where that back pain was and solving it. Somehow it's all connected, right?
I think it is, yes.
I think they were trying to get rid of an attachment that had attached to me, was causing the back pain. But, you know, it's just a theory. Yeah, it's just a theory. Okay, you want me to check Discord? Okay, well. There's probably a lot of comments I've missed. So if there are any questions or anything you want to ask our special guest today, just post it in the side comments and Colleen will pick it up.
Be happy
Discord.
to.
Yeah, I just got to find where the Discord's disappeared to. Looks like it's updated today, and it's moved the icon. You're not on Discord yourself, are you, Colleen?
I'm not. No, I can be, but I'm not currently. No.
Yeah, I actually got a channel there called the Out There channel that you could easily join if you want to. I've actually got a paranormal section.
Go look it up.
Yeah. My pinned comment on YouTube there has a link to Discord. If you click on that, it should take you there to the channel to join, and we can just add you in there. We don't have too many people there. No one's a really big chatter. I'm pretty much the one that posts stuff there each week. But yeah, it's a good way to share photographs, at least up to 8 megabytes each. Videos it's no good for because it's too small there, unless you pay nitro, they call it. And you can at least post links to your YouTube there, as well as to your Dropbox or whatever they call it, Google Box or whatever, what they call it. You know what I mean, where you can actually upload the video there and create a link.
Let's see if I can find it here.
So, Paul, your chat is broken on YouTube. Are you talking? And it's not updating. Let me just check things out.
Sure. Do what you need to do for sure. Ugh.
Says it's got excellent connection here. So you sure it's not your end? Anyone else experiencing the same stuff there? Is the Men in Black or YouTube interfering again? Let's see. The thing is, I have Discord muted, so even if you post comments there, I don't see it till the end of the show. I reckons it's not playing on YouTube for at least an hour.
Oh.
We can check it here, I guess. Play it back ourselves, see how it's going. I'll just bring it up. I know the computer's a wee bit laggy today, but you're seeing me okay and hearing me okay. It's kind of strange.
Yes, I am. I'm seeing and hearing you just fine.
I know you sort of dropped out a couple of times, but it was only a couple of times. Let me just have a look. We should be able to scroll back to...
I'm seeing and hearing you just fine.
There we go. It's a minute behind us. Out a couple of times, but it was only a couple of times. Yeah, let's go back an hour, I guess. See where it comes up. I think it's coming, playing all right there. Comes up around about now somewhere, doesn't it? You can see here. Let's go there. Is walking around, and they knew there was nobody in the house whatsoever. That seems alright, doesn't it? That seems alright there. It's got to be UK.
Everything is good.
And sounds pretty nice. Good to me. Go back there.
And purple lights. Little orbs that were probably that big around.
And you sound pretty good too.
It sounds okay to me.
I think I might have it queued up. Is it on YouTube? Is it? Well, I've tried various places there. I'm not seeing any outages whatsoever. Try there.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it looks alright on YouTube. I think YouTube's got it in for Mike. Anyway, where were we? He's posting more stuff to Discord. Okay, I must admit I haven't been up with all the comments. Kate, say something. Check some screenshot. Oh, you mean that maybe the side chat's missing some comments? Oh, that could be true. He's updated the software and I didn't update it. So yeah, the combo chat could be missing stuff. Let me just check the side chat then.
Okay.
I'll check YouTube directly. Just reload it too, just in case. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a shame with our live stream after all that talking and evidence that it wasn't working. That would be a real bummer. But it is going out to...
We've had a really good time.
yeah. And it's going out to Rumble as well as... what's the other one? Twitch and... Pilled. I'm not sure if it's working on Pilled or... I just have to check there too. How many people we got there? 3 there, and it says 2 on 2 likes. No likes today. We only got 2 likes. Normally you can get up to 12 likes on that. That's pretty terrible, guys. Pilled, I'm not sure what's happening to Pilled today. But we normally get more likes than 1 and 2. And Rumble we normally get 2. Yeah, it's kind of strange. Oh well.
So the human resonance and we've been hit with all kinds of weird geomagnetic storms, and the Schumann resonance has been all over the place for the last little while. It could just simply be an electromagnetic thing.
It's more likely to be some software update bug. But anyway, like I said, they change stuff every week on us. I'm just checking, zooming in on the other screen because I can't read it otherwise. Check screenshots I sent in Discord. Nothing. Kate. Okay, we're looking at Kate now. Just reserved for guests on panel. Haha, give me that link. I'm not sure what link she's talking about. Blue orbs. Kick pull. She kicks pull. Yeah. I think that actually works on the combined chat. Pull is high. No, I'm pretty drug free, man. I live in pain. I've actually got pain. I got pain in at least 5 joints today. I've put some inflammation cream on them, but yeah, I'm still living with lots of pain at the moment. But yeah, I'm sort of used to pain. Nothing really throws me off being. Yeah, nothing throws me off being happy and being myself. It's just all part of a test, I think. Check messages on Discord. We did. Have no idea what Paul is doing. Not sure what they mean by that. Refill. What's that? I'm not sure what I meant to have missed. But yeah. I can probably pop it and show it here, maybe. Just bring it up there again. Don't have to have the video playing. It's taking a while to come up though. It's got this strange... Oh, there's the chat. I just saw it. Disappeared. Was it not showing me the chat? That's kind of weird. Is it a YouTube there again? Is it a YouTube thing? Don't have to have the video playing. I don't know. YouTube are messing around, aren't they?
Yeah, I see this.
I reload it again. I tell you, they just don't like me. I didn't do anything. I'm just a nice guy. Give me a chance. See, it's got this thing just dimmed here. It shouldn't be dimmed. You know what? It's funny because I'm using ad blocker, and they don't like people using ad blocker, so they try and sabotage.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
that's what it'll be.
Very possible.
Oh, here we go. So then I hit reload.
You found it.
Yeah, we finally got it to show up. Oh no, it did take my reload. I was just a bit too fast on the trigger.
Wow.
It's not going to come up now, is it? Oh, shit. No, it's not going to come up. I tell you, it's maybe hit the play button. Alright, here we go. I don't know, they're mucking around with the code. They don't like the ad blocker, I think. So what did I miss?
Yep.
Kate was being abused. Okay. Maybe I have to have it on live chat then, because normally the top chat gets rid of it. Live chat. I think the combo chat gets rid of abusive comments. But anyway, you got a tool here. You can actually get rid of or time out people swearing or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Okay, been discussing the meaning of universe for FS, and nobody was listening.
Nobody's listening.
Unplug Paul, then plug him in. Well, I'm not sure if I did see those comments come up on chat. I don't know. I'd have to check the combo chat.
So yeah, no, I didn't see all of these at all.
Reboot Paul, Michael broke chat. Where's the abuse though? I may have already got rid of that person. Your brain actually blocks out 90% of the input.
Okay, that's where I've started seeing some of these. I've not seen the rest of these.
Yeah, I don't know. Why's she dimmed here? What happened there? Was that just the colour?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. She's in a different colour to Michael. Maybe you can do that now. I don't know. They keep changing things. Anyway, I think it's still working okay for me. I'm not sure what's going on with you guys though. You can see that there's some little niggles there, but yeah, I just don't know what I'm missing. It's a wee bit hard for me to read the side chat though, as you know. That's kind of weird. Did you not? I think maybe you have to go live chat to see all the comments, and the other one is called chat live or whatever, and they remove all the abusive comments and auto bot it, you know. Anyway, we don't want to interrupt what you're doing. I think it's working all right. We're coming near the end anyway. He's got a screen snapshot here. Which, again, would have to be zoomed in, because I can't read it, because it's still too blurry and small. But anyway,
well, let me see if I can get a read on this.
Oh, we can look at it after the show, but yeah, it's not. We both can see each other, just the tube isn't putting it on your stream. Can you restart the chat? I don't know if that's going to help though. That's what he's saying. But yeah, I can restart the app, I suppose. But like I said, he's updated it this week, and I haven't updated it myself. Let me just have a look. I can stop YouTube and restart it, I guess. Stop and restart. See if that fixes it, maybe. Of course, he could be working on the code as we're using it on the live show at the same time. It's another possibility. But it should be capturing all the chat, because we're the Rabbit Hole Club. Yeah, you're there. Chandler?
Yep. I don't know who Chandler is.
We haven't seen any Chandlers yet.
Nope.
We'll have a look at your screen print at some time anyway, see what you're talking about. But yeah. What was we going to talk about to wrap up for your show?
Oh, let's see here. Let's pick a topic, any topic. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. If there's any books, other books that you wanted to talk about that you've done, or anything?
Actually, there's a couple of different. Yes, I am working on a number 2 book that is going to be called Fairies, Ghosts, and Cryptids. Oh my, which is my working title. We'll see how that works out, but that's where it's at, and it's going to go over some more of my experiences with different entities and energies, cryptids, aliens, UFOs, all of the stuff that I have been dealing with. The other one that got thrown in my lap here about a month ago, and I wasn't expecting it, had to do with my dad. And, he passed away a couple of weeks ago. And when he had a heart attack about 6 weeks ago, he flatlined. He coded in the ER. So he had an NDE. And when he came back, when they brought him back, he had quite some tales to tell. So that's another one that I'm going to wrangle and get written down. It's going to take me a minute to work on that one. That's a little sore right now.
Yeah,
but that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Is there any things that he said that you could tell us now, perhaps? There's a little glimpse into it. Like, did he see a tunnel of lights, that sort of stuff?
No, he didn't. That was the interesting thing. He didn't see any lights. He actually saw a very dark tunnel with a statue of himself that was made out of like some type of black shiny stone, like an onyx or an obsidian. And he watched it come back to life like that and step back out of the hole.
That sounds ominous, doesn't it?
It was. It creeped me out when he told me about it. But he said, no, there were no lights, but there was a tunnel. So that's kind of a little teaser there. He also wanted me to tell everybody who would listen to remember the ancient magic. And I'll get more into that whenever I'm able to, when things aren't quite so sore for me. I need to digest on this just a little bit. I was able to get a lot of recordings of him in that month that, after he came back and then left us again. So I have a lot of vocal recordings and of his story. So I'm real anxious to share that.
That'll be interesting. So when you do that book, you have to come back on and talk about it, I guess.
Love to. Thank you, Paul.
Without giving out too much of your book, of course. But yeah. So people can buy that on you have a book on Amazon. I don't think I've posted the link to it, but I'll do that now.
Thank you.
Sounds like it might be an interesting book. Some books are better as printed rather than... Yeah, some books are better as printed rather than ebooks, I find.
Yes, and this is one of them.
Yeah. So I'll just post that.
Now the other two will have multimedia involved because there's multimedia to involve. So
Right.
we can do a lot of it in a print book, but I think they're going to be better as a multimedia experience.
Right.
So me and my publisher are kind of talking about that.
Right. Michael, what are you saying?
Thank
Nice
you.
cover pick, by the way. Okay. Well, we're getting your
Thank
messages. I'm not sure what's going on with other people, though. Phoebe.
Oh, see, I was
Ruby, thank you. How are you doing?
Aww.
Okay, so, you know, it looks like it's working all right to me here now. Whether it was doing before, I don't know. This is why we need, multiple mods and side chat on YouTube and other places, I guess, because when I'm hosting, I'm pretty busy. Plus, I'm also checking the software out all the time, making sure nothing's crashed. So, is there only one book you got at the moment? You're working on another book. Have you got any other books that you've written? Is it listed here somewhere?
Actually, I wrote one after my mother died.
Okay, any of these ones your ones? That's
nope.
not yours.
Nope, you will find me under Colleen Kaufman.
How do we get to all your books on this? Occult horror. Click on your name, probably. Let's see. Okay, there. Oh, here we go. So we got one called My Sketchbook. Oh, is that a new cover? Or?
Yep. So that is some artwork of mine, and it is just a blank sketch diary for people to kind of do the same thing I did.
Okay. The prices are higher here, are they? Let me just have a check. This one, no, 13. $5 Kindle, $6 I think. $19 for that one. The Gambling and Doodling. Okay.
Rambling and Doodling of Mary T. Kaufman. And it is basically my mother she was one hell of a wit and an author herself. And after she passed away, I found all of her writings and her doodlings, and I compiled them into just kind of a tribute to her.
Okay, that's nice. Adventures
and that
of
was my original Adventures of a... Yep, it is no longer available.
Okay, and that's all it's got listed. Unless I'm missing something.
Sir.
Was there any... Was that all the ones?
Nope, so, that's it for right now.
Well, hopefully that people keep watching this in the future and they watch this show and they like it and they see your books and maybe they'll buy some and send it your way.
I hope
so. Is your
you
podcast video only or audio only or both? Your podcast.
You know what? I do both audio and video. I recommend that you do the video on the YouTube channel just because it has so much video and image stuff that you don't want to miss.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Right, so we got a lot more we can do in the future then, and we will stay in touch, I hope.
Yes, please. I'd like that a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so that's your book done with. Posted it out the side there. Anything else? We did that one. Weren't sure what it was. A plasma orb of some kind. These two locations. I don't think you talked about those ones, did you? The Kansas one?
So Stoll is a cemetery in Kansas, and no, we did not talk about that. Stoll is a cemetery.
Do you want to leave it for another day?
Sure, let's leave that for another day. That's a long one.
Well, maybe schedule going in a couple of months' time or a month's time or whatever, and we can carry on from where we left off.
Months. Yeah, I have quite some stuff to be working on right now.
Okay, so we pencil that in for some time then in the future. I'll probably try and get some more guests on through what's his name? I forget his name now. The guy that got us in contact. What's his name from Hangar 1?
Calvin, yes.
Yeah.
Love me some Calvin. A good guy.
Yeah, Calvin. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, he sent me another person to have a look at after you. So I'll do that. Yes. And then we got this other one up here as well. Okay, so we can cover that next time. It's amazing how much time we consume there. I'll just save this. I got this little tool here that saves all the tabs, so you can just reload it back another day, and it's called Session. Not that
nice.
One. This one here, it's changed it to an S. It allows you to save all your tabs, so you can just reload them later. So you can say save them all here.
That's a great little thing here.
Save there. And then you can actually go here and rename it. And that way you can always refer back to where you left off. Where's rename? There, I suppose.
Collection title is what it says.
Colleen 2. Okay. And it changes it there. So there's a little add-on you can add to your browser. I think it works on all browsers, Firefox, Chrome, and Brave. And then you can always go back to it, and you can get all these bookmarks, see? So when I get little bookmarks, sometimes I'll just save it and give it a name, just in case something goes terribly wrong, and you can just recover it later on. So I can now delete all those if I want to. But then I can just say open, and it opens up a new window and it fills up all the tabs automatically for you.
That's so cool.
So that's called Session Buddy, I think.
Yep, it is Session Buddy.
You can just Google it. Session Buddy. And you can type extension. And it should come up with a list of them for different browsers. There's Chrome, so you can just click on that one.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
But there'll be other ones here for other browsers. And I think you probably have to. There's Edge there. Edge uses the Chrome ones, and so does Firefox anyway. So you can type Firefox.
Yeah.
They don't call it equivalent to Session Buddy for Firefox. Tab Session, there you go. It's equivalent to Session Manager for the other one. So there you go. You know, not many people use Firefox, I guess. So I use all browsers. They all got sort of benefits. But I use Brave browser, this one here, because it's the fastest. And I'm actually running the portable version here, so it doesn't automatically update. And you know, as you update, sometimes you lose things. So this doesn't update. So it's always a portable browser I use for live stream. So I know it's always going to be constant and not update until they eventually time it out. So as HTML evolves, the browser forces you to upgrade the browser to upload the next edition of HTML pages. You know, it's got some advances and security fixes and stuff. But yeah, now I can just clear all those off, right, of view, and I know I can reclaim them back. So I can say, what is it? I think I got another add-on here somewhere. Or it comes with it, like you can say clear all the ones to right, but I can't see it at the moment. I don't understand why. Close other tabs, there we go, close tabs to the right. So why is it not lit up though?
Excuse me.
That normally works, so I think the add-on works better.
Bookmark tabs, nice.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up. It's kind of weird. I know I've pinned them. You know, I pinned them, so it shouldn't matter.
And did you tell me that you also pinned your Discord on your YouTube. Is that what you said to me?
Yeah, at the top of the live chat, there should be a pin to my webpage. And if you click on that, you should find on the page Discord, and you can click on that and join the channel there.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
That's what I needed to know.
Does it work now? Close all to the right. Now they're unpinned it now. That must have been a recent update, because normally you could do that even when they're pinned. There you go. So we delete them without having to do it all manually. Anyway, we'll catch you maybe in a couple of months' time, okay, and talk about those other 2 locations and anything new that's happened. Maybe be a shorter live stream next time, maybe. But it's always good. I think there's a lot of stuff you can talk about regardless, though. You got lots of videos there and whatnot.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, got lots of stuff to talk about.
Anyway, we'll let you get away to do your dinner, and it's been a really pleasure having you. And stay safe and stay well. And I'll just drop you off now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. And
to your audience too, thank you very much.
It's been really great having you. Something different for what I normally do. I just break it up occasionally with special guests. So yeah, God bless, and I'll see you again soon. There we go, guys. So now I've got to figure out what you were talking about, Mike. But we better wind down. It's probably getting late for you guys. 4 in the morning or whatever. So is Kate still with us? Have a good night. Okay, everybody's here still. Looks like it's all working alright there now. I'll have a look at that picture that you did and see what was going on. Sorry about that. I know there's an update for it anyway. Maybe that will fix what was going on. Let's see. This is like the app for it, and it says it's got an update here. And I didn't apply it this morning because I had guests to sort out. So whether that caused a problem there with the combo chat, I don't know. But sorry about that, guys. I don't write the software, that particular software anyway. But I'm going to say goodnight now, and hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll have it definitely back, and I'll probably go on her show. That should be fun. But it sounds like she's busy. I know how busy, hard it is to write your own books and stuff. Because I did actually write one of my own books as well. Until it got pirated and no one bought it anymore. So it was on herbal cures. When I was sick, I was doing research on herbals, and I put a book together. And also talked about my story about my illness. Where we thought it might have been stomach cancer that I had and all this sort of stuff. So I'll say goodnight, and see you again next weekend, hopefully. Sounds like we're not having a funeral, though. Seems like we've had multiple people die this year, but no one wants to hold funerals because they want $10,000 or more. And the people that died purposely state that they don't want a funeral. They don't want all the fuss, but it's very hard to let people go if you don't have a funeral, right? Because normally you go and look at all the old photos in a slideshow and remember the good old days, and then you farewell them, right? It's a bit strange not having a funeral for people. So take care on the roads and whatnot. Oh. No, got my finger too far over. I'm trying to touch type. And I'll see you again all soon. Thanks for those that put the time in to comment. I know there's a little bug here where it doesn't show the last line for some reason in the chat program. Yo, yo. There we go. Has Rumble dropped off? See, Rumble's disappeared now. Oh well, I know Rumble's there now. I don't know. It's kind of strange. It doesn't. Maybe it's censoring comments. It might be actually. But we'll update that software for next time anyway. Just do hit a like if you like the show. That really does help people to realise they're missing out on something really good. Something they may preempt and think it's a debunker, but they're missing out on all the good stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll just close that down and wind down. And of course I've changed it here, haven't I? Come on, eyes, wait for me. Ending. Good night. How's it going? Is it still working? I'll just send you a message on Discord, Michael. Probably got Colleen joined too. I see something popping up. What's this here? Updates to Discord. Okay, no, it's not Colleen. We'll see her pop on sometime, I think. As long as she clicks the website link. Here we go. What have we got here? Robots. What's that going? Oh, you're swearing. Oh no. Oop, I forgot to end. Crazy me. Let's do that now.